Light schedule for the rest of baseball, just a couple of games. The Blue Jays on the road to take on the Tigers in Detroit. Cardinals host the Padres, and the Astros playing host to the A's. Meanwhile, in the world of professional wrestling, Hulk Hogan, one of the biggest stars in the history of professional wrestling, passed away today at the age of 71 years old. According to Florida police in Clearwater, Florida, authorities responded to a call this morning about a cardiac arrest. Hogan was pronounced dead at a hospital, police said in a statement.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Welcome, everybody. It's Wyman and Bob live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center here. Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com on a gorgeous day outside. Seahawks out on the field as we speak. Dave and I keeping an eye on every aspect. You've got every detail of everything that's happening out there. No, it's a perfect day. Weather-wise, it's not too hot. Absolutely beautiful out here. And the Seahawks getting their work in before their debut for the preseason, August 7th, against the Las Vegas Raiders, excuse me. So that's going to be happening very quickly. We'll be talking much about the Seahawks. We'll catch up with the player. Tyrice Knight is scheduled to join us somewhere around 3, depending on when they wrap up their practice for the day. But Tyrice Knight will join us. Paul Moyer joining us for his weekly conversation. We've got the latest edition of the Raleigh Show at 5 p.m. before we turn you over to the Mariners pregame show. Jason Churchill, Mariners After Midnight on Substack, will join us. Give a little insight on these prospects that the Mariners have and get his take on who should be available, maybe who shouldn't be available. We'll see what the Mariners do as to this point. No deals yet. No deals. There's nothing that keeps them from making deals, Dave, but to this point they have yet to make a deal. But taking a look at some of these prospects that they've got, and we're getting so familiar with these names, it's like you get attached to them just by hearing the names over and over again, right? You feel like, oh, well, I've heard this guy's name. I've heard Harry Ford for years now. You don't want to get rid of him, or Las Montez, or whoever else may be dealt at this deadline.
Did you listen to Ryan Rowland-Smith on the way in?
No, I don't listen to him.
Yeah, he was talking about these prospects and looking like 2-3 years down the road, and it seemed like he's thinking more of like going with starting pitching, which is what we've heard John Paul Morosi say. But,
he was saying they need to go after starting pitching at the trade deadline?
The trade deadline. Yeah. So, and, I think he kind of voiced what he thinks is, the Jerry and Justin's view on this, and that it's not worth getting a rental player and trade away. They've done a really good job of building up this great group of prospects, and that, possibly that's what you're going to see. And a lot of people are going to be disappointed by that. And it was kind of interesting the way he phrased it. He's like, I know the fans are going to be mad at me, but yeah, it was kind of interesting. He said bullpen and starting pitching, and that's what we've heard from him. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, Bob. I'm not really attached to any of the prospects. I mean, a guy like Colt Emerson, I suppose you should look at, the long term. His estimated time of arrival in the big leagues is next year. But, to get that, give somebody like that away for a rental player, I mean, I think I'm starting to be more and more not comfortable, but getting used to the idea that they may not be giving up these prospects for someone who's just going to be here for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, look, you need to figure out, is this our window? Is it worth what this player could be in the future to capitalize on what we have now, which is a very down American League. They did not capitalize on last year's performance by the rotation. That went by the wayside. Can they afford to do it again? I mean, they need to weigh, all right, yeah, we're going to have all these prospects that we all know and love, and we're going to hear their names over and over and over, and everybody's going to get attached to them. But, boy, we missed the playoffs by a game again or 2 games again. Is that going to be worth it? Is that going to be acceptable? So they've got to weigh, yeah, you're going to risk that this kid, whoever it may be, turns into a star down the road. but the guy you got back in return helped propel you into the postseason, and maybe you made a deep run. Who knows? Maybe you got to the World Series. Again, the American League is a bit down this year, and I don't know that that can be counted upon in future years. So as much as we looked at last year as hey, you had this window with this rotation, you kind of have a separate window here with the American League being where it is.
Yeah. Right, and then also just the pressure of you're eventually going to have to pay the starting rotation. So yeah, I'm curious what if Bryce Miller was healthy and they were back to where in a position where they were last year? I just think it would be much more of an urgency. Maybe. I mean, you've had kind of some up and down performances last year. They were number one in like ERA and quality starts and strikeouts and everything. And if maybe they had that going right now, would there be, a little bit more urgency? I mean, that's the thing. Because, I mean, this team, everybody talks about them with their starting rotation. If they get in the playoffs, this team is built for the playoffs.
Yeah, but you're not going 5 deep on a rotation in playoffs. Right.
Yeah.
Some of those guys aren't gonna get that start. So
I mean, you got more choices certainly, especially if you got Bryce Miller who is healthy.
Yeah. So and right now as we speak, they're a playoff team. Yeah. So then that's how they have to treat it, as I see it. And there is not a prospect there that I would look at and go, you cannot trade that guy. There are certainly guys, and we've talked about this, guys that I'm really curious about, and I would love to see develop and what they could ultimately be in a Mariner uniform. But I'm at this point, look. You've been to the playoffs one time in over 2 decades. Once. I'm willing to take a chance. I'm willing to take a chance that if they trade Harry Ford, he could be a star elsewhere. But if it gets you the bat that helps propel you, then it was worth it to me. So if you want to hoard your prospects and go, well, we didn't make the playoffs, but we still got this guy in AAA, or we still got this guy in AA, I'm like, well, okay, well, tell me how that works. You're going to wait another year, maybe 2 years in some cases, 3 years in some cases for these guys to be a part of the big club and make an impact, or they can make an impact by being the piece that brought back the help you needed.
Maybe 3 months ago, was it, when we heard the word patience?
Can't use that word.
All right.
Can't use patience with this fan base.
I'm just kind of, putting out there, I don't have an attachment to any of these.
Yeah.
Any of these prospects, and we've talked about that. Harry Ford, I mean, maybe a year ago, but not now, especially with the contract that you have with Cal. I mean, it's going to take these guys a couple of years to get going, even if they are top prospects. So, I mean, the Geno Suarez thing just looks too obvious, but to me, I don't know. I feel like I'm, heading back towards Doomsday Dave.
Where you think they're just going to get a bullpen arm and some
bullpen arm and maybe
a
starting
starter.
Yeah. But I mean, that's kind of what Ryan was proposing, basically. Not exactly, but
was he proposing that said pitcher could also pinch hit too, or
didn't say anything about that?
Okay.
But I think he's being realistic, and that's kind of what we've seen from Jerry and Justin and ownership. So. Yeah, I would say prepare yourself for that. But, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think it is a possibility. It's something to consider.
Oh, yeah. I think it's an absolute possibility. I just don't think it's going to be well received. So,
I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
That's
so
no
and how much that weighs on their mind, maybe it doesn't weigh at all. Maybe they're like, look, I know people are going to be mad, but here are the moves we can make. Here are the moves that we think fit the situation best. And we're going to have to let the chips fall where they may, and hopefully fans will understand, and hopefully it pays off, and they'll see what our vision was, whatever their mentality is going into this. Keith Law was on with Brock and Salk. He was talking about the Mariners and talking about who they should be willing to trade when it comes to a rental.
I mean, I ain't trading Cole Emerson. I'm probably not trading him at all, but I'm certainly not trading him for a rental. Would I trade someone lower down and a Laz Montez, a Johnny Farmelo? I'd be more open to, at least. The further down you go, right, the more willing you are to give up somebody in terms of a rental, in a trade for a rental. But to me, the rental, you have to strongly believe that player is a difference maker for the final 3 months, for August, September, to push you into the playoffs, and then someone who is going to be able to play a significant role for you in October, whether it's a pitcher who's going to start one of the first 3 games of any playoff series, or a position player who slots immediately into the lineup and plays every day. I'm not giving up a prospect of that caliber for a rental reliever, I don't care who it is, you're going to get 20 innings out of the guy. I know teams do that. They do it every year. I just could not make that math possibly work.
I agree with him 100%. I'm not talking about a middle of the bullpen arm. I mean, you need an arm in the bullpen. I think that should be up there on your priority list when it comes to what you're going to do at the trade deadline. They absolutely need that help. Would I trade Colt Emerson for somebody in the bullpen? No. I'm not doing that, but I'm not also looking at Colt Emerson as untouchable if he's going to bring back a bat that could be a difference maker in this offense when, guys are slumping the way they have been, and can give some help to Cal and some of the other guys that have been hot for the majority of the season. I mean, it just, the return is what's going to dictate whether it was a good deal or not. Right. And if you're just talking about, hey, we need an extra arm in the bullpen, and the guy's going to be a free agent at the end of the year, so let's give him our number one prospect for that. No.
Yeah, and I mean, what if it's, we looked at that list of available, trades at the deadline, and one of them was the third baseman from the Rockies. I'm blanking on his name, but he had like 124 strikeouts.
Yeah,
and a $32 million contract that's coming this way. I mean, you just hope it's somebody that you recognize if you're going to trade one of those guys away. But again, I'm still like, I'm not looking to trade Colt Emerson for an arm in the bullpen, no question about that. But it's just you hope it's someone that is in the news that we've been talking about, like O'Hearn or possibly Naylor or Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah. By the way, I was just pointing to Dave here. You got two guys trying to move the blocking sled that you see those O linemen, D linemen move that thing like it weighs 5 pounds.
If that was Anthony Bradford and Abraham Lucas over there, they'd have driven it like 50 yards already.
Meanwhile, you got two just average-sized guys trying to move it. It wasn't going anywhere.
One guy went over and got in the little Jeep, the little four-wheeler there.
He tapped out of it.
All right, let's chain this thing up.
And I was watching their blocking drill. We'll get back to the Mariners, but I was watching them do that drill, and they are getting their hands up underneath it and fully extending. And then the coach is telling them, hold. And they're holding it there for, 1,000, 2, and then they let it go. And these guys are barely getting it off the ground, and it looks like they're going to tow it now.
They're pushing it.
They're hooking a strap to it.
Yeah, they're hooking up a chain.
With a John Deere tractor, and they're going to pull it. Oh, my
Well,
goodness.
it's pretty, I'm sure that I would probably struggle with that as well, but it just goes to show you how powerful those guys are.
They make it look so easy.
Anthony Bradford. I remember there was a one-man sled out here one time, and I think it was Anthony Bradford. It might have been Abraham Lucas, but he just not only just jacks the thing like 6 feet in the air, but then he ends up like throwing it down, and it turns sideways.
They're pulling it with the tractor. They aborted mission, said, forget this. It was moving like 2 inches at a time. And the guy went over and got the tractor, and they just hooked up a cable to it. Now they're pulling it. It's awesome.
I think we did that last year, didn't we? Do a little video out there. That thing was heavier than I thought it would be.
I was worried that Dave was going to get hurt.
Yeah.
You fell down. Maybe you sold it a little bit.
Well, I was playing it up for the crowd,
Just showing how heavy it is.
Yeah, giant crowd there, but it really does speak to how powerful these guys are, because they make it look like literally like it's a 5-pound weight. They're just like, goosh, and they've got it full extension, and then they're holding it for 2 count, letting it go.
Chopping their feet.
Yeah. It's amazing. But back to the Mariners and Keith Law. Here he explains now. We've talked about prospects and who do you like, who do you want to see. And, again, I reiterate, I don't think anybody is untouchable. I don't care what their name is. The one guy I'm really just intrigued by what he may become or could become is Laz Montez, just because he's a massive human and he mashes the ball. He may never make it. He could be a complete bust. It's not a prediction. It's just more of a curiosity. But Keith Law talking about why he would trade him.
Huge power. The approach is fine, good enough. He's not Yordan Alvarez. I had somebody comment to me, this baby Yordan stuff has to stop. Yordan never, ever swung and missed like to the level that Laz does. Yordan was an extremely disciplined hitter, basically from the moment he defected and started playing in the minors. Laz is not like that. I am in the camp that thinks Laz is going to have to play first base or maybe DH, or certainly give him a long look at first base before making the DH decision there. A lot of those catches, I've seen highlight catches he's made, but it's he gets a bad read. His first step isn't quick, and then he catches up to it late and makes a good play. that's probably not going to keep you in the outfield in the big leagues. The bat will play. I mean, if he hits enough, it's 30-plus homers. And there's a lot of value there. He's also a guy I personally, if I were Justin Hollander here, I would say, I'm willing to trade that guy because the risk is if he doesn't hit, you have nothing.
Yeah. It's kind of dire. You got nothing. He's worthless. Basically saying he's not a defensive wizard. You're not going to get that part of the game from him. And I tend to agree. I did go out to watch the Aqua Sox when he was there with our guy Brent. He was in the outfield, and he took some interesting routes to balls there. Yeah. He doesn't look that natural out there, so it does feel like he's a DH or maybe first base. I don't know what he's going to look like at first, but he's such a big dude. And, the baby Jordan stuff, according to Keith, has to stop. He doesn't have the plate discipline. He's barely out of his teens, though. I think he can develop that. Yeah. But, look, if they trade him, I'm not going to go, how did you let go of that guy? What were you thinking? He's my biggest curiosity.
Yeah, well, and you look at, who they traded last year, and I had their names. I know Mike knows. For Randy Arozarena. And they still haven't done anything. Brody Hopkins and Aiden Smith were the two, and they're still not playing in the big leagues. They don't have big league numbers yet. And
Noel V. Marte was their top prospect. They traded in the Luis Castillo deal to Cincinnati, and he's been popped for PEDs and had injuries, and you're still waiting for him to turn into. Yeah, I mean, he's got all the tools and all the potential, but so far you haven't been burned by a prospect that you've traded off.
Right, and look, that shouldn't be the motivation anyway. I mean, if it's going to get you a bat that's going to help Cal out and, get some more power there. I mean, and look, Arozarena has been great. I mean, not lately, but, he really, had a good few series there for a while. But I'm just looking at this list of Colt Emerson, number one. This is according to MLB.com. It's their number one. Shortstop, third baseman. Then it goes Laz Montes, Harry Ford, Michael Arroyo, who's a second base shortstop. Right-handed pitcher Ryan Sloan, but it goes all the way down to the entire system basically. But you're looking at the top five maybe that you're going to get. Celestin is a guy that's been kind of intriguing. He's their number 6. Farmelo we've heard from. Senja is just a curiosity to me, just interesting because he's a left-handed, right-handed pitcher, and like I said, you don't see that anywhere except maybe at a community college or something. So that's just unique, but none of them are untouchable.
Yeah, you got Ty Pete in there, you got Arroyo in there, you've got some nice prospects, man. You got some guys that, look, if they don't trade them, I'm excited about what they could turn into, but you got to take care of now and not worry about what's going to happen 3 years from now when these kids are ready.
That's what it's going to be, by the way. Sorry to interrupt, because but you look at the ETA, estimated time of arrival into the big leagues, it's 2026. Does anybody care about 2026 right now?
No.
2028, 2027. So I mean that's the frustrating part. And I don't know if somebody's looking to build up their farm system, and we can get an extra bat or two. I mean, that would just be the ideal situation. And hopefully, and I heard somebody say that that Jerry and this is probably the case. Jerry and Justin, they value their prospects more than other teams do, and you have to assume that, right? That's just something that is going to hopefully it doesn't keep them from making any kind of a move.
Quickly, before we get to take two, just a couple of quick thoughts on what I was saying earlier, that the American League is down, so that's kind of a different window than we were talking about last year with the rotation. Jeff Passan explaining why he feels like this stretch is going to be the most important time for Dipoto and Hollander.
Reason number one, because it is a wide open landscape in Major League Baseball. There is no dominant team. And if you can put yourself in the position where you get one of those golden tickets to get into October, and you have the starting pitching and you have the bats, then you can win a World Series. I firmly believe the Seattle Mariners can win a World Series this year.
Yeah, so not having a dominant team in the game right now. You've got good teams, certainly, very good teams, but just that one team that you look at and go, who's going to beat them? Yeah, it doesn't exist, especially in the American League. And then quickly, one more, Jordan Schusterman from Yahoo Sports talking about this is the year for the Mariners to capitalize because of what we were just talking about with the AL.
I'm not sure the American League is going to be this bad again anytime soon or this wide open. And so if anything, this is really, it's not just about the AL West, which is clearly not as fearsome as it used to be. It's the whole league. And so that should be viewed as an opportunity, a window to push, because, as I said, I do think Seattle's floor is higher than a lot of these other teams. Where their ceiling is, I think that's going to be dictated by a lot of the key players already on the roster and maybe who they go out and get before the deadline.
Yeah, so both guys reiterating the sort of the state of baseball in the American League, and this is a great opportunity. We'll talk more about that. A reminder, our coverage of Seahawks training camp is brought to you by the Landing in Renton. Let's take two.
The Mariners have recalled Jackson Kowar and optioned Brandon Garcia down to AAA Tacoma before tonight's series in Anaheim. And the starting pitcher for the Angels tonight, Yusei Kikuchi, gets the start. Logan Evans for the Mariners.
Yeah, former Mariner Yusei Kikuchi, who's done well since he's left the Mariners. And Brandon Garcia, a couple of outings out there, walks some. He looks like he's got decent stuff, but young guy, got touched up a little bit. So I like this move for the bullpen in terms of bringing in some help.
Yeah. Brandon Garcia, God bless him, didn't go great for him, but typically that's not been the case. Really, when they brought guys up, they've been okay. Who was the guy last year that they brought up like 2 days before they named him the starter? It was that and he started a game last year. I'm trying to remember. It came from
they only had
Tacoma.
7 starters
Jonathan
last year.
Diaz?
Yes.
Yeah, they only 7 guys.
7
made
guys
starts.
last year.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, he had that one.
Much easier to keep track of that.
And he was okay. I mean, he was decent.
Some injuries around NFL training camps. This one really unfortunate. Former Seahawk Artie Burns tore his ACL in day 1 of his first practice with the Dolphins. And then there was some panic when Jets quarterback Justin Fields had to be carted off, was the report. Turns out he just dislocated his toe. But some notable injuries around training camp so far.
Hey, don't speak of that so minor. That's got to hurt.
They were
Dislocated
panicking, though. New York media takes things out of proportion. Like, Justin Fields carted off. The season's over.
ACL, ankle.
Yeah.
Sure, it hurt like hell, though.
I'm telling you, man, the toe is like not something that will keep you out of football, but I just remember Jeff Bryant in a walkthrough the day before we played the Dolphins just stomped his 300-pound body on my toe, and it was never the same the rest of the entire year. And I think I ended up getting it shot up. But
I remember seeing Michael Bennett's turf toe in the locker room.
Oh yeah,
and
it's just annoying.
Awful.
Yeah, and I feel bad for him because that's probably going to not go away until the off season.
All right, Take Two is brought to you by Swedish Cyberknife. Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/cyberknife prostate. Coming up, he's the perfect guy to talk to when it comes to getting the best insight about these Mariner prospects. Jason Churchill is going to join us next with Wyman and Bob live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center at Seattle Sports on 710.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passan with Brock and Saul.
Right before the trade deadline, where does this roster sit out of the 30 in baseball?
There is no dominant team this year, guys. It is a wide open landscape in Major League Baseball. There is no dominant team. And if you can put yourself in the position where you get one of those golden tickets, I firmly believe the Seattle Mariners can win a World Series this year.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Aloha! Dreaming of sandy beaches and ocean breezes? JTV's Tropical Treasure Sweepstakes could make that dream come true. Enter for your chance to win a fabulous Hawaiian getaway for 2 with luxury accommodations, airfare, and spending cash. Plus, just for entering, get $30 off your next qualifying JTV purchase of at least $99 when you opt in for emails. Don't miss out. Visit jtv.com/sweeps and enter by August 3rd. JTV, where paradise awaits.
It's back to school season, and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team, we can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox disinfecting wipes, teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1 ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Cool people, good times. The Good Guys 37th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals, presented by Wicked Fabrications, July 25th through the 27th at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Over 2,500 classics, an earth-shaking Nitro Thunderfest, tire smoke and burnout competition, and don't miss Good Guys Friday night vintage drags at Pacific Raceways in Kent. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center in Puyallup. Details at good-guys.com. The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Are you frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots and not getting the long-term results you really want? This is Dr. Ryan Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. Our program has helped over 4,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Did he just say Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is half the cost and works twice as fast as weight loss injections? Well, if that's not reason enough, you don't risk the scary side effects or gaining the weight back as soon as you stop. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is natural, and it works.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Was drafted in 1999 by the Philadelphia 76ers, and that was just absolutely a dream come true.
Todd's playing in the NBA is unique. His battle with neuropathy is not.
I first started noticing problems a couple years into my NBA career, and I felt like my sock was just balled up right in the arch of my foot. And there'd be areas of burning and tingling, and then there'd be other areas of deadness where there would be no response to touch. We tried everything possible, from surgery to different drugs, to try and take care of some of the symptoms.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, non-drug, pain-free procedures that have helped thousands of neuropathy sufferers find relief.
Now I'm able to spend more time doing the things that I enjoy, being on my feet.
If you experience numbness, shooting, or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
This hour is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital Common Sense Lending.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7
on Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710. A beautiful day out here. Seahawks still out there on the field practicing. We will catch up with Tyrice Knight once they wrap things up, somewhere around 3 o'clock, 3:15-ish. We'll see how long that takes. And we'll catch up with Jason Churchill hopefully shortly, get some thoughts from him on his Mariners farm system and maybe who he thinks is likely to be dealt, who he would or wouldn't deal. Get into all of that. You guys can text in 866-979-3776. Your thoughts on the Seahawks, the Mariners, who would you trade, who would you not trade, all that good stuff.
Well, and we've seen a lot of action out here with the ball boys trying to push the sled and finally went into the John Deere tractor. But the one thing I would say, the difference between today and yesterday's practice is starting to ramp it up a little bit. You know, I saw a couple of, and it looks like they're going full speed. They're not in pads, but they're getting to that point where I wouldn't be super surprised if you saw a fight.
Already sick of each other after 2 days?
Well, you see, like, you know, a guy like Charbonnet, man, I mean, they're trying to, and they've really picked up the speed. Like yesterday, they were, the last practice, it was kind of almost like a walkthrough, basically. And now they're starting to, you know, get some speed out there. And what happens, you get a guy like Charbonnet, he's going to break tackles. And you, as a defender, don't want it to have, have that make you look bad. So, yeah, just ramping up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that. Right now we need to talk more about this Mariner team and more specifically some of these prospects that could be dealt. Joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. You know his stuff from Mariners After Midnight website on Substack. He is Jason Churchill. Church, how are you, man?
Gentlemen, good to be on with you. Feeling good. The weather's good. This is Churchill weather out here today.
Is that what they call that, Churchill weather?
I mean, that's what I call it. I don't know who they would be in this situation, but I don't like the 90s, and I don't like the 50s and rain. This is it.
It is. It is the sweet spot, without question. It's beautiful. Hey, I want to get your thoughts because I know you really follow closely, the Mariners minor league system and the prospects and all of that. And we're approaching this trade deadline, and it's you know how it goes, Jason, that we hear names so much, even if we haven't seen some of these guys played, that we hear the names over and over. Thus, we become attached and say, well, you can't get rid of that guy because I've been hearing the name Harry Ford for 3 years now, and this, and all of that. So first of all, I've said, look, there are guys I'm very curious about, excited about what they could be, but nobody, in my opinion, is untouchable. But you tell me, you agree or disagree with that?
I absolutely agree with that. I don't really believe in the untouchable prospect. I think it happens so rarely. I think when Felix was in AA, AAA, like he became untouchable because you knew what his path was. It was just a matter of time before he got to the big leagues as a quality big leaguer helping your team win. Same with Julio. Once he got to AA, you kind of knew what he was going to turn into. But it's really, really rare. There might only be 5 or 8 in all of baseball right now that I'd throw into the category of, yeah, unless you just get ridiculous and trade like your best proven big leaguer, you're not getting that prospect. So I would agree. I don't think they have an untouchable guy in the entire system, including, the guys at the top and Colt Emerson and Saincha and Harry Ford.
Jason, I think everybody, every town, every baseball town thinks that, they're the number one priority, but, it takes two. And as far as like the competition, this year, how do you see things sort of lining up? Like where do the Mariners sort of rank as far as really needing a bat particularly, but just, trades in general?
Yeah, they've been about as aggressive as, to be honest with you, I've ever heard any team being at the deadline, turning over every rock. They've talked to contenders, I'm told, about proven players on their clubs that could come play first base or third base or the outfield or pitch for them. And that's generally not something you seek out as aggressively as happened. They're turning over every rock. Guys that are making a little bit of money as well. Things have changed a little bit. The farm system has matured. They've added more to it. With the last couple of drafts, there's upside, there's probability. So they have kind of the cushion to go out and trade from their stock down on the farm, and even maybe a player or two on the big league roster that can help get you a player, even from a contending team that's trying to win this year. It's kind of crazy to hear all the buzz and all the connections this team has made over the last 3 weeks.
Jason, if you're running the show leading up to this trade deadline, what's your priority? I'm looking at the bullpen. They definitely need another arm in there. They certainly need help with the lineup. They need a bat or two. But some have made the case for a starting pitcher. I don't see that as much of a priority as others do, but where are you at in terms of the priority list going into this trade deadline?
I would agree with those that believe starting pitchers should be on the table here. When you look at how this team was built, yes, they need a bat. I think third base should be the priority. But after that, I think it's pretty close whether you need to go to first base or right field versus a starting pitch. You absolutely have to add a high-leverage reliever to help out Brash, Inspire, and Munoz down there in the bullpen. And you might need two. But ignoring the starting pitching because we think Bryce Miller's coming back, I mean, maybe he does come back and return to form. Expected to start a rehab assignment pretty quick, but you can't assume that. You hope Gregory Santos comes back and helps the pen. Can't assume it. But it's been a middle-of-the-pack rotation to date. It's been a middle-of-the-pack bullpen to date. The offense actually ranks 10th in runs scored, despite the fact they play in the toughest ballpark in baseball to score runs. So I'm not saying they don't need bats, probably plural, but I throw starting pitching in there right around where that first baseman and that right fielder sit and that second reliever sit. But I prioritize third base and first base. When you think about the role of the rotation on this club, it's been the foundation. That is what they're built on. Going six consistently, giving yourself a chance to win those games, even in the 5 spot. The past couple of years with Miller and Wu, they've had an advantage when they take on just about everybody else when the number 4 starter, the number 5 starter are out there. They don't have that advantage right now with the 5th spot. And Logan Evans and Emerson Hancock may just not be equipped to do that. And they're going to start roughly 18 to 20% of your games the rest of the way. There have been too many results where the club was pretty much done when Evans or Hancock or whoever the number 5 starter was out there, filling in for Gilbert or filling in for Miller or whoever it was at the time, to ignore starting pitching at the deadline here. If they get a chance to make a deal, even if it's for a 2-month rental, they probably have to pull the trigger.
Hey, back to third base, because I'm with you that's you got to get some production out of your corner spots there, and you're not getting it from either. When you look at Ben Williamson, are you bullish on his future that he could develop some power, or is this kind of who he's going to be, a great defender but not a really productive guy? How do you see him playing out?
Yeah, it's a fun conversation because player development is such a huge thing in Major League Baseball these days. We didn't talk about this much 20 years ago. It was how good is he in AAA? Does that translate to the big leagues? And we kind of stopped the conversation right there. But with Williamson, it's like all the physical tools are there. He's obviously very good defensively, has the arm, good feet, could probably play shortstop for you in a pinch, get into a little weird late inning game, could actually probably replace Dylan Moore for you in the future, even though shortstop's not something you want to ask him to do a whole lot. The swing change problem, like he hits a lot of ground balls. That's why we're not seeing a lot of power. There's probably enough contact there. It's a really interesting conversation because it's just every hitter is different. How quickly can he make some sort of an adjustment that helps him generate a little bit of backspin, that helps him get the ball in the air a little bit more? And it's not really get to your pull side, hit the ball in the air 60% of the time. It's how do we add 10% line drive, 5% fly ball to it, and he'd be a viable option, I think. It's just really difficult to be able to tell at this point how quickly Ben Williamson in particular is going to be able to do that. But he's 24 years old, going to be 25 later this year. Keep him in the system because he could be very, very helpful for you down the stretch or even next season.
Jason, really all we've talked about is Eugenio Suarez, and then, over at first base, Naylor and O'Hearn with the Orioles. Who are some other names you think that would fit the bill there?
Yeah, first base, I think an under-the-radar idea might be Nathaniel Lowe in Washington. Not having a great year, but the last couple of years in Texas, he was an above-average to plus hitter. And I think maybe you get him out of Washington, you get him comfortable, you get him into a situation where the team is competing, you might get the good version of Nathaniel Lowe, and you'd be able to control him for next season as well. It might be a little pricey, kind of a Randy Rosarina scenario. But if he hits for you, you might have a first baseman for the rest of this year and next year, and he's probably a better first baseman than anybody they currently have on the roster. So that's one. I don't really know the dynamics, but Yandy Diaz, who's not a great defensive player by any stretch of the imagination, he's really not going to cover up the ball. And I know the Rays are contending, but they do all kinds of weird things even when they're in the race. So I would check in on Diaz as well. The tough thing to gauge there is there were some rumors about Randy Rosarina and Yandy Diaz not getting along or their families not getting along, this weird off-the-field stuff that I just no idea about. So maybe he's not really, truly an option. And then kind of a more of a long-term situation. I've always liked Alec Burleson in St. Louis. A guy that can play the outfield a little bit, but a pretty good first baseman, pretty good bat, controllable, St. Louis looks like they're willing to talk. If things fall apart with like a Suarez conversation, maybe you go and try to work something out, pull in a Nolan Arenado and an Alec Burleson for your corner spots.
Hey, real quick, we're up against the break, Jason, but give me a quick thought on the exchange of prospects for a rental. Somebody who is coming in with just a couple of months left on their deal. They're going to be a free agent, whether we're talking about Naylor or Suarez or anybody else in that instance. You get a lot of fans that say, well, I'm not going to give up player A, whether forward, Emerson, whoever, for this guy who's only going to be here for 2 months. How do you square that? Where are you at on that? I know it depends on the return, which player we're talking about, but how do you feel about prospects, high-end prospects for somebody who's a legit rental?
Yeah, I would avoid, anybody in the top, and at least my top, 7 or 8. I wouldn't give somebody a Johnny Farmello for 2 months of Josh Naylor. I wouldn't do that. But generally, that's not the cost anyway. Generally, those teams will take, bulk instead of trying to get the highest end. You just look at the history of the cost of players like that, and it's not ridiculously high. And if somebody said, hey, you have to give us Harry Ford or you have to give us both Emerson, then you might say, okay, Arizona, then, instead of just Eugenio Suarez, give me Eugenio Suarez and Merrill Kelly. Give me Eugenio Suarez and Shelby Miller. And you just try to expand it to make sure you can maybe get more value out of it, and particularly try to get somebody with some control behind them, because you don't want to look back in October, November and say, man, we just gave up Ryan Sloan or something for 2 months, and we're done now. Like, Ryan Sloan is gone forever, and it didn't help us the way we like. That's the thing. You do it, and you're not guaranteed to win, so you got to be really careful with it. This organization is really good at that. So I think they'll be able to find a way to kind of bulk it up a little bit and maybe even use someone from the Major League roster to avoid sending an extra prospect their way.
Jason Churchill, you can check out his stuff. Mariners After Midnight website on Substack is right there for you. Always great stuff. Jason, really appreciate the time, and hopefully we're talking again soon.
You got it, guys. Stay cool out there.
There he is. Jason Churchill, everybody. If you missed any part of that, you can find it on the podcast page after the show at seattlesports.com. A reminder, the Seahawks preseason home opener is August 7th, right around the corner. We want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks take on the Raiders in person. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP, to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. It's completely free. You can enter every day to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, July 28th. Meanwhile, we've got proof now that the NFL almost literally prints money. We'll get into what that means for the Seahawks and the rest of the league coming up next as we continue live from the site of training camp. It's beautiful out here. It's beautiful.
The VMAC is beautiful.
It is. Everything out here is beautiful. Perfect day. We're going to talk about it all with Wyman and Bob. Seattle Sports on 710.
He's one of the greatest.
The pitch to Ichiro.
And Sunday,
There it is, number 200, a bullet.
Ichiro takes his rightful place in baseball's Hall of Fame.
Number 258, a major league record for Ichiro. My, oh my, Ichiro!
Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer delivers complete coverage from Cooperstown at seattlesports.com and the Seattle Sports app.
Ichiro!
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is my life. This is my family's life. The people that work here, they're my family. When something's not right with them, it's not right with us.
We get notifications every time we get a review. And I said, how do you not let it eat you up? Sometimes I feel so responsible. And his answer was, I just look at it as an opportunity. We need that feedback to learn and to do better. I'm grateful for the feedback.
Big part of sales is the relationship aspect. People want to do business with someone they can trust, who's a real person. They don't feel like you're just going after their money. And when you take the time to get to know them, get to know their needs, not be a car salesman, but be a consultant, then they feel more comfortable with you, and just the experience is better on both sides.
It's not about closing deals. It's about opening relationships, helping people make the right choice. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
IRG Physical and Hand Therapy doesn't just treat injuries, they elevate athletes. From weekend warriors to elite competitors, IRG Sports Institute clinics are built for performance, blending top-tier physical therapy with advanced sports science and personalized training plans. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Why? Why elevate athletes as well?
Because here at IRG, Brock, our motto is we want you to be your best self, your best physical self, your best mental self, and your best community self. At our new IRG Fremont Sports Institute, we're providing that type of care. We've got the latest equipment, the greatest techniques, the providers there that are excited to get you better, basically bigger, faster, stronger. Doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior, a recreational athlete, an elite athlete, we will make you to be your best.
You'll work with specialists who understand the grind because they've been there. With access to cutting-edge equipment and recovery techniques, you won't just heal, you'll come back stronger. Visit irgpt.com, irgpt.com.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks host the Raiders August 7th. Just open the Seattle Sports app, tap the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Enter daily from July 23rd through 28th. Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. Only from the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men, too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat-freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. When you hear Harley Exteriors, I want you to think windows manufactured right here in Washington and specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest homes and climate. These are the windows you want. They look absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort. They also come with a double lifetime, fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your resale and home value. These windows last up to 60 years. Harley Exteriors is making these windows affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. In July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. Think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY or just go to harleyexteriors.com.
Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. Gorgeous day outside. Perfect for football. Perfect football day. They're still out there on the field. We will catch up with Tyrice Knight once they wrap things up on the field, so make sure you stay tuned for that. You guys can text in throughout the show at 866-979-3776. I saw this story last night, Dave. It just it just reconfirms and solidifies what we already know about the NFL, and that it's a money machine, that they just really print money. But what's interesting is teams don't really disclose how much money they're making. They don't have to, except for the Packers. Packers are public. They don't have an individual owner. So because they're publicly owned, all of their financials are made public.
Right.
So the Packers received last year $432.6 million from NFL's revenue payout, the revenue sharing. So more than $13 billion in revenue was given out to the 32 teams. Can you believe that?
Reminder, a billion is 1,000 million. It is unbelievable. And like you said, we talk about it all the time, and we never put a number on it, which this did, which was interesting. But we talk all the time about anything the NFL does. I mean, the schedule release. They've got videos. Everybody makes a video about the schedule release, and everybody is clicking on that. And then you look at the draft and schedule release. There's just everything. Everything is news. And so, the only thing I'd say to the NFL, I'd say maybe take care of your former players. How about that?
Could you extend that to friends of former players?
Yeah, sure. They could probably afford it.
I know they could.
No, they actually do a pretty good job. And there's lots of things that I was talking to Max Strong the other day, and that's what he does. He kind of just goes and puts on seminars. He works for the NFL just to let all the former players know, all the benefits that you can get. But it is amazing. And now, you're seeing these guys they're making more than, remember when all the news would come out of Tom Cruise just signed this, $25 million deal or $20 million deal or whatever. That's chicken change there, man.
That's chicken feed. Yeah, it's just for your info, the salary cap for 2025 is $279.2. So you're already profitable if you spend every single penny of your salary cap. You're already going to get almost double that.
Yeah,
that's before your own. This is the revenue sharing portion of it. This isn't your tickets sold or your concessions or your parking, your whatever revenue streams you've in as an individual franchise. This is TV deal money. This is, it is insane. I don't know why, if you're an NFL owner, you would ever think of selling other than I'm getting old, I want to spend the money somehow, or I don't know what your motivation to sell your team would be, because it prints money.
Right.
It's just.
Well, and we've had that discussion before about what would take the NFL down. Boxing for a while was wildly popular, right?
Well, and boxing used to be the biggest sport in the world.
Yeah.
Way back.
Right.
But it's. I don't know. I think what would take it down, maybe it probably wouldn't take it down, but could hurt it is if they found out something was rigged, something was fixed.
The fix is in.
Yeah, if they found that out, that hey, a season was marred by games that were predetermined, or somehow there was that element. Beyond that, I really don't know what could bring a behemoth like the NFL down.
Yeah, and I think that's a tough one to fix, right? They've got lots of cameras, and there's lots of people that have to be in on it. We talked about baseball and how knowing what pitch is coming and how ridiculous that is, and how it's the biggest mystery in sports, where you look at, even if you knew what the play was, maybe an official, but they're watched so closely. Plus, their jobs depend on it, and I guess you could make more money if you threw a game, if there was a gambler involved or whatever. But we also talked about a guy dying on the field. Maybe that would be something where that would take it down. But I don't know.
No, I don't know. I don't think it would take it down, man. I think if it became more frequent or common, certainly then. But if you're talking, you saw Hamlin. With the Bills.
Hamlin.
That was as close as we've been, and I don't think, TVs were turned off the next week.
No.
As dire as that was, and I'm not trying to make light of it at all, people went about their day. They went about watching their teams and gambling on games, if that's what they do, or what in fantasy football. Everything just continued. So I I honestly don't know what could happen to this league beyond crazy rule changes that completely change the sport, and it does turn into some form of flag football. Then maybe you lose a big portion of your fan base, but it would take something really, really extreme.
Who was telling us that, they could see the quarterbacks with flags on?
El Hombre.
Was that El Hombre?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about the differences in completion percentage, like when you go back, and anybody out there, you want to chuckle, go look at the career completion percentage for Joe Namath and Terry Bradshaw and John Elway.
Oh, it wasn't even a thing.
50s.
It wasn't even a thing, to look at a quarterback's stats.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was playing in the NFL, it was like, lots of times you'd be like, hey, look at this guy. 69% of his, that's part of the scouting report. It wasn't part of anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it just wasn't even looked at.
All right, coming up, we're going to weigh in on what we saw out here at training camp today. Also catch up with Seahawks linebacker Tyrice Knight. That's all coming your way next with Wyman and Bob live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed a musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Bump letting you know the Employee Pricing Plus event is on at West Hills Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Get the 2025 Ram 2500 for $9,000 off MSRP. Subject to credit approval. Offer ends July 31st. West Hills Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, part of the Hazelwood Auto Group.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay,
Ooh,
deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25. New customers only. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I
I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? One day at the firehouse, I was so lightheaded I could barely stand. Even my crew noticed. Getting checked out was the right call. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners take to the road for a series with the Los Angeles Angels. Game 1 happening tonight. They're going to send Logan Evans to the hill. He'll face off against former Mariner Yusei Kikuchi. Interesting matchup there. You can hear it all starting at 5:30 with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch right here, Seattle Sports on 710. One final on the day. The Orioles beat the Guardians 4-3. Light schedule in baseball, just 3 other games beyond the Mariners. You've got the Astros hosting the A's, Cardinals playing host to the Padres, Blue Jays on the road in Detroit to take on the Tigers, and that rounds out your schedule. Bit of tough news for the Dolphins, and former Seahawk cornerback Artie Burns is going to miss the entire 2025 season after tearing his ACL on the team's first day of training camp. That according to Adam Schefter. The Dolphins officially placed Burns on season-ending injured reserve today, but did not disclose the nature of his injury.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob. Seattle Sports on 710. They are starting to wrap things up for the day. A bunch of players still out on the field, kind of going through some individual drills. We'll catch up with Tyrice Knight as soon as he's done. I think he's out there working with the jugs machine, working on the hands. So once he gets done with that, we'll have him over on our set here. If you're watching on the video stream, lovely set we've got right here. Beautiful day for football.
We even have a carpet. How about that?
How about it? Yeah, I think that's supposed to eliminate some of the heat or something, right? Is that, or we just want to be decorative?
No, we just want to make it class it up a little bit.
We just want to look super fancy.
You know, I should have spent a lot more time at the jugs machine. A lot more time.
Did they have one when you were playing, or did they just have coaches throw the ball at you real hard?
I don't think we had either.
You had Elway firing the ball at you real hard.
Yeah.
He was the human jugs machine right there.
Yeah, I remember one time him zipping a ball past my helmet in practice. I was running scout team.
He did it on purpose, right?
Yeah, he was like, watch this, I'm going to buzz Wyman's tower. And so I was just kind of dropping back. All of a sudden I heard this, and I look in the backfield, and him and I think Hugh and whoever the backup quarterbacks, they were all laughing. They're like, see that? Yeah.
You see that? Dave didn't.
Oh, good for him, man. I mean, I don't think he got an interception last year. I think he picked up a fumble and tried to run with it. But, Yeah, I did a fumble recovery for -2 yards. So
Just
man
fall
after
on
my
it.
own heart.
Just fall on it.
Sack and a half, 88 tackles. So, yeah, quarterback hits. He had 3 or 4, and he started about the time when, our guy yesterday, why I'm blanking. Ernest Jones. When he came into town, man, that was when all of a sudden Tyrice started to play really well. And he didn't really play like a rookie. I mean, there was a couple of things that you saw, but like for the most part, he really did a good job of like sifting through blockers and just finding the ball. And he's just got a very unique sort of, that's just one of his talents.
Yeah.
That he's able to do. And that's hard to do, especially in the NFL when everything's moving so much faster.
I was I was kind of posted up watching some of the O-line drills out here, and two things that caught my eye. First of all, once again, Abe Lucas is moving very well. Not a sleeve on the knee, not a brace.
Yeah.
Looks totally like nothing's ever been wrong. That was great to see. Gray Zabel moves well for a big dude. He looks like he's got some light feet. He seems to move very well. All of them do. I mean, when you look at how massive those guys are, those are just huge human beings when you're standing next to them, and just seeing how they move. I mean, they're dancing bears out there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He looked so good on film. He was just toying with people, and they played some Division II type of opponents, but they had some good. They had some good games against some good teams that were legit, and I thought he did exactly what you should do in that. And it wasn't like Michael Jarrell type of thing because he was at Finlay, but I mean that's a really good program where he came from, and then he has been really good, fun to watch out there, and like you said, he's very light on his feet, and that's huge.
Yeah, the other drill I was watching, I was standing behind the tight ends over there, just out of curiosity because they're down a tight end and Noah Fant, just watching Arroyo, he's put together well. He's not a big, bulky guy. He's very lean, cut, big dude, quick. Barner looked great. I was watching Russell over there, and just what stood out is what you've talked about, the difference between college and pro and how they are meticulous about the finite details, and they were on the snap trying to get inside leverage on the guy that was covering them, and they were talking about the hand placement, like your right hand. They were going on the inside with the right swim move on the right hand, and the guy had a little low. He's like, nope, little high, get that thing up right there. You want right in his chest. You want to shove him off, and I want you taking straight steps. I don't want you doing this with your feet. I want you doing this with your feet. And it was very, very detail oriented, and watching them do that over and over and over.
Yeah, no question. Those are the things that matter, and they didn't matter in college. And like I've always said, you don't change anything in college. If you're doing well and you're good enough to play in the NFL, you're probably doing everything right. And so, but it doesn't really pan out at the next level.
Yeah, well, we it's panning out well for this guy at this level, I'll tell you what, and it's good to talk to him here, wrapping up practice for the day. Linebacker Tyrice Knight is with us. How are you, man?
Good, how are you?
Good. What's it like coming back the second year? Do you feel like, okay, now I can take a breath, I know what to expect, I know what it takes? Is it just, how different is it coming in this year versus last season
I
as a
feel
rookie?
way more comfortable coming in my second year. Second year with the playbook under my belt, I ain't really seeing everything move fast as it was last year. Things been slowing down for me since OTAs, since I got back this offseason. So honestly, I don't know how this year will go for me. I just got to keep building upon it.
How much of it also is just off the field stuff? Like, taking care of, like you're more settled, basically, right? I mean, you come in as a rookie and it's like, oh, I got to get a place to live.
Got to get my car up here. Got much of everything. But now I ain't gonna lie. Right now, I got a lot of resources that I carry on from last year. So just right now, just focus on football and got to worry about all the outside stuff, leaving the facility. Yeah.
Hey, when you look back on your rookie season, what stands out to you? Do you feel like, oh man, I left these plays out there, or hey, I feel good about my season? How do you reflect back on your year?
For sure, I left a lot of plays out there. I also made a lot of plays as well. So, I have mixed emotions looking back on my rookie season. But just overall, I just felt like I came in, I did what my coaches and teammates were expecting me to do. And I just know I earned their respect, and there's still a lot of stuff for me to earn.
I'll tell you what, you had a great rookie year, man. It's hard to play the way you played in the NFL coming up, in your first year, man. I thought it was great. And so some of the things, like, are you starting to kind of focus in a little bit more on some of the details of this defense. I felt like that was, for me, it was like, okay, now I got all the steps down and everything, and you got to get lower, all of that stuff. But is it enabling you to like really get into the defensive scheme and be able to handle that part better?
Yeah, way more. You know the defense more than knowing what your teammates doing around you. You know you can play more freely because you know somebody else can have your back. You don't really got to overdo what you need to do. So just like, honestly, just learn the defense more. That allowed me to play faster, more fluid, and so I'm going to keep learning better every day, and I'm going to continue to grow.
Hey, what kind of impact did Ernest Jones have on you? We had him on yesterday, had a great conversation with him, and it just seemed like when he came over, everybody started. I'm not giving him credit for the entire defense, but
you can give him the credit for it.
Things started to change in a really positive way for the defense and even your game. What kind of impact did he have on you?
Before, he got here, he played 2 games before I even started back playing. But I just watched him on the game. Like Sunday, just practice, I just noticed that we played the same way, just move, operate the same way. So I just felt like he just took my game to another level and just seeing things more, just reacting better and just knowing where the ball carrier going to be at before we know it's going to be at. Just he had a big impact on me. He continue to grow and continue to teach me new things every day. I'm really just looking forward to working on it this year for the 2nd year in a row.
Sorry, Dave. Did you ask? Are you a guy that asks a lot of questions? Were you peppering him with questions, or were you just staying back and watching him?
Before I started back playing, I was just watching him. But once I started back playing with him, I would ask him questions on the field, off the field, and just really just trying to pick his brain.
He said that he called you off of a couple of blitzes that, like, I don't know if you can interchange or that is that right?
I be telling him he be stealing my tackles and stuff like that. So, I'm going to give it to him. He's technically a vet, so I'm going to let him have his shine. But
not this year.
Once I get back comfortable and I know I can play, I ain't listening to him. I'm telling him to stay on his side.
I was telling Bob a story yesterday about how there was these 2 linebackers that played before I played, and one of them would go, "Hey, I'm going. Cover me."
Yeah.
There's no room for that on this defense, right?
No. Yeah. But, yeah, he had a couple plays like that last year. I ain't going to tell him what it is, but, yeah. This year he ain't getting away with that.
I love it, man. Yeah, you have a unique ability to kind of sift through, like, all of the blockers and the motion and everything. Like, and that was the thing that Ernest Jones told us. His favorite thing is just to make tackles. Right. And that's what you did. And that's why you were the starter. I mean, how was that just something that was natural for you? Did you play other positions growing up?
No, I mean, everybody played both sides growing up in like little league and stuff like that. But when I got to high school and middle school, I for sure was strictly linebacker. But just sifting through blocks and all that, I think that just instinct and just you just got to have it in you. I don't think you can really teach that. You can try to teach it, but it just got to be in you just to
your
know where the ball carrier just going to be at. Because going to be a lot of people like, how do you know it's going to be there? But you just got to feel it. Because at the end of the day, we the running back on the defense, so they seeing us, we seeing them. And we know where the open gap will be at just like them. So honestly, just meeting them at the point.
This defense in the second half of the season was amongst the best in the league, top 5 in a lot of categories. Now you get a full season with Ernest there and the coaching staff, everybody's used to everything. I know it's only been a couple days of practice, but when you look at this defense, do you feel like, you know what, we're going to be that from day one? We're going to be one of the top defenses in the league?
Yeah, no doubt. It's continuing to grow day after day. Yesterday was day 1, today day 2. We still got a lot of things we got to clean up. But as a unit, we're growing for sure. We know what to expect. We know how we can play when everybody click together, how it was the last, 7 weeks of the season last year. So we know everybody do what they need to do. It's going to be real dangerous for our side of the ball for the rest of the year.
Looks like it's starting to ramp up speed-wise out there.
Yeah.
It looks like you guys are ready to put pads on.
Because I feel like pads already without even pads on right now, honestly.
Yeah, there was always fights because, you're not supposed to tackle the running back, but also you don't want him running through your gap or anything. So, like, how do you handle that?
One play would be good, one play would be bad. You just got to find that middle ground point, but everybody know it. Like, it get dangerous running through that full speed, but you just got to – sometimes you got to back off, but sometimes, you don't want to just, like, let her run through, tag off, because you didn't make the play. Like, a lot of plays today, they like, you didn't make that tackle, but we're like, y'all know we can't tackle y'all.
Exactly.
So, but we get pads on, we get back to the third tempo, they're going to know that the tackle was for sure made.
Yeah, that's frustrating, I think, for linebackers in particular, just because it's like, hey, no, I made the tackle, man. Don't keep running.
You don't want to tackle right now, so you ain't really like getting in the gap. You just stand a little yards away and just trying to like tag off, but they ain't think you gonna be there. But eventually that you gonna be out the window.
Is there any smack talk where they're telling you, nah, you wouldn't have tackled me. I'd have cut right through you, or you guys debate?
Yeah, somebody told me that early in the day, but, I ain't listening to it. I know what I would have did, and I'm pretty sure they know what I would have did as well.
Hey, so what was your offseason like now that you kind of knew how to treat the NFL, how to prepare physically? Did you take much time off, or did you get right back to training and you just follow a strict diet? How'd you approach your offseason?
When I first got back down to Miami, I was pretty much the first couple of days, the first couple of weeks, I would just get my body back right. Just wasn't really on the field as much. I was lifting a little bit, just getting back mobility and just straightening all the areas that I left here, like banged up or whatever. And nutrition-wise, even without the food, Miami was really hot. Your body didn't have no choice but to get in shape. But I started eating way better this season. I came back way leaner than I was last year. My body felt great. I feel like a step faster. And I'm going to try to keep that whole diet this whole 2025 year, season-wise.
Hey, Tyrice, you're to the point now where you pretty much, you've seen this defense for a full year and, through the OTAs and everything. Are you able to kind of tell what the difference is with this offense and what the offense that the Seahawks are running and what's different about it?
Yeah, they're running off the ball for sure. There's a lot of more 20, 21 personnel, a lot of 12 personnel. They for sure running off the ball way more. But at the end of the day, it's getting us better because that's what we're going to see this year as well. So, it's just iron sharpening the iron every day. And, I'm just looking forward to keep competing with the offense throughout the training camp.
Do you pay attention to any of the national opinions on the team? Like, the talking heads out there making predictions?
Everybody have pros, everybody have cons, like negatives, positives. You can't really pay attention to that. Just worry about what you think on in-house. You can't really pay attention. You try to pay attention to everybody. That's where you just mess up your head. So you just got to leave the outside noise alone.
Hey, Tyrice, what took you eventually to UTEP? How did that process go? You were born in Florida, right? Yeah, tell us about your high school career, and then did you go to you went to Independence?
Yeah, Independence, Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had left high school 4 offers: Bowling Green, Sanford, USF, and Campbell. I was planning on going to USF out of high school, but I had waited too late to commit, and they ran out of roster spots. Yeah. So that's how I ended up at Independence. But I was a full qualifier and all that, so I could have left after my first year. But the first year I redshirted. In second year, I played good. I had 70 tackles, 5 picks, and I balled out my second year. Yeah. The only offer I had was UTEP, so that's how I got there out of Independence. And back in the day, God knew what the plan was. He had his own will, so I was appreciative of the whole journey I took. If I never took it, I probably never got here.
Yeah.
Well, Tyrice, it was a fun watching you in your rookie season, man, seeing that growth, especially toward the end of the season, and can't wait for this one. Congrats on how things went in season 1, and we wish you the best in season 2, and hopefully we're talking again.
Yeah, no doubt. Looking forward to talking to y'all again.
There you go. Tyrice Knight of your Seattle Seahawks spending a few minutes with us. Appreciate the time. They wrap things up for the day out here, and just a beautiful day for football. Beautiful weather, and they're as you said, picking up the tempo. It won't be long before the pads are on, hitting happens.
Yeah.
Maybe some fights. You never know.
I was happy to hear that. Yeah, you got that same competition going on with the running backs, and that's always a tough part of it. But yeah, it's I think every player, especially if you're playing his position, you can't really show that, hey, I got off that block. So yeah, it's once you get the pads on, it's a lot. It's it's more fun for linebackers.
Yeah. It's and looking at this team and we talk about the national pessimism, if you will. I'm curious and if you're a Seahawks fan looking at and agreeing with that, going, yeah, this is going to be a step back year. This is going to be an 8-win team, 7-win, 9-win, whatever you think the number is. Is there anything you could see, whether it's training camp, and I know not everybody is seeing training camp, but more maybe preseason, that would change your mind? I'm just curious. If you consider yourself a Seahawks pessimist and you think this is a step back year, anything that could change your mind leading up to game 1 of the regular season, you can text that in to 866-979-3776. I'm an optimist when it comes to this season. You are as well. We're both predicting a playoff run and a double-digit win season, barring major injuries, obviously. But for those that look at it and go, no, the offense isn't going to be good, what is anything you see in the preseason going to change that if they look sharp and on point? Or if they look bad, are you going to go, see, told you, they're not going to be good?
Yeah, I think I think if you're a pessimist and you've paid attention to what's going on with the OTAs, and we talked about it yesterday, small sample size, but, you know, you saw a couple of times where maybe Darnold was trying to be a little bit too careful.
Yeah.
And, you know, but it takes a long time to put the offense in, man. There's so many moving pieces, and I love that they're coaching more of like the technique. You know, we always talk about this is what coaches used to always say. I mentioned it yesterday: who to get and how to get them. And you know, I think you can sit in the meetings and all that and figure out, you know, who to get, but how to get them, the technique. You know, for offensive linemen, staying low, getting your hands on somebody, and then, you know, putting in this whole new, you know, system. I think, you know, that would probably be the one thing I think people are going to be looking for, and I predicted the opposite of it, that it was going to be a fast start for the offense, just because I felt like
you're right.
I felt like last year there was a lot of disconnect between the players and some of the plays that were called.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I think this will make sense to these guys, and I think it's going to be much better. But, yeah, I suppose if you've seen that kind of stuff where you look at the offense, they're putting in, you know, it takes a while. But I think it's going to – the thing that's going to, you know, make it start fast, basically, is I think it makes sense to these players.
Yeah.
I just remember playing in defenses where I'm like, well, why are we doing that? And it was kind of like, because I said so. You know, I mean, that was
what we want you to do.
Yeah, I mean,
the end.
Yeah, and so I think players, you know, they want to know why. Why are we doing it this way? And I think that they do a good job of, you know, explaining that part of it, and that's coaching basically.
Yeah, it was fun to watch some of what was going on out there with the tight ends, the O-line, and watching the quarterbacks. And once again, Drew Lock has got a good arm, and he throws some really nice passes. Again, we're watching them. There's no defense in the drills I was watching. There was nobody that was going up against them, right? There was no pass rush. It was just they were running plays. But just look at how they spin the ball. Look at how accurate they are, hitting guys in stride. He looks really good. I don't know if it translates to the you know, regular season on a regular basis. We've seen him look good in the regular season. We've seen him look not so good. It's just he's an interesting guy to me.
He is. He totally is. And what a journeyman that guy is. But, yeah, he looks very confident. And I like to think it's, you know, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But the fact that they're working on his footwork and all the mechanics and stuff like that. I told that story yesterday about Tom Catlin coming over and pushing my hips down and saying, stay low. And it just makes a world of difference. So, yeah, I think that's probably what you're saying. Again, huge emphasis on coaching. Yeah. And, you know, we're not really going to know until they get into a game or two. Probably won't even know after a couple of preseason games. But, you know, hopefully by the opener, they're going to have this down, and that coaching will have taken effect.
Hey, if you missed any part of the show, you just want to watch things over again, whatever your motivation is, you can check out our Wyman and Bob channel on the Seattle Sports YouTube page. You can search for Seattle Sports, search for Wyman and Bob Stelton on all social media platforms like Instagram, X, Blue Sky Threads. We're on all of those. Find our segments, our conversations like we just had with Tyrice Knight. Those will all be up there. So check it out when you get some time. It's all free. It's all at the right price, by the way. Meanwhile, only a man of wisdom would be able to answer our questions on both the Mariners and the Seahawks. That would be Paul Moyer, who's going to join us.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
He's going to join us next as we continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710.
He's one of the greatest.
The pitch to Ichiro.
And Sunday,
There it is, number 200, a bullet.
Ichiro takes his rightful place in baseball's Hall of Fame.
Number 258, a major league record for Ichiro. My, oh my, Ichiro!
Mariners insider Shannon Drayer delivers complete coverage from Cooperstown at SeattleSports.com and the Seattle Sports app.
Ichiro, you are unbelievable!
What an amazing thing to be able to go into a restaurant and read a menu. I took that for granted for a long time until I couldn't do it anymore because my vision was getting so bad. I had a pair of readers in every single room of my home, and if I happened to forget to bring them into a restaurant or someplace like that, I was out of luck. Couldn't read the menu, couldn't read the receipt, none of it. It's Bob Stelton here, and I got to tell you about one of the best decisions I've made in my life, and that's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's refractive lens exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein, who did my procedure, started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. So you go King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. Freedom from glasses, contacts, readers, and most importantly, cataracts. So if you're somebody like me that struggled with some up-close vision, or maybe you struggle with distance vision, whatever your issues are, you always need glasses. K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect and, more importantly, permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper: you'll never develop a cataract. So whether it's LASIK, EVO, ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors with all of the info to recommend the very best procedure for you. You can schedule your free, that's right, free Zoom consultation today. Just go to K2VisionRLE.com. K2 Vision RLE, no readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts. Again, K2VisionRLE.com.
The biggest scuba sale in America starts today at Underwater Sports in North Seattle. Incredible savings for 3 days only. Divers Fair only happens once each year at Underwater Sports, 107th and Aurora Avenue North.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field or online at Seahawks.com/pro shop.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Need a new roof but not in the budget? A new roof doesn't have to break the bank. Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Right now, State Roofing and Exteriors is offering 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's 2 years with no payments while getting the protection your home deserves. But this offer won't last forever. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to get on our summer schedule now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Bump letting you know the Employee Pricing Plus event is on at West Hills Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. The 2025 Ram 2500 is a beast with class-leading torque and towing. But don't sleep on the new grille, LED lights, and tech upgrades. On sale now for $9,000 off MSRP. Subject to credit approval. Offer ends July 31st. West Hills Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram, part of the Hazelwood Auto Group.
Hazelwood has it!
Hey, Brock Heward here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers,
certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side, we are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
And with over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
This hour of Wyman and Bob is brought to you by K2 Vision.
This is the moment many wait for.
The most entertaining.
A man of wisdom, a man of experience, Dave.
The most informative.
To bring light to a dark subject, to bring positivity to a negative world.
The incredible Paul Moyer.
Moyer out.
It is that time, everybody. We look forward to it each and every week, just as much as you do. You get a conversation with a man this wise and worldly experienced. It's just all in one package. He's with us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. You know him, you love him. He is the one, the only Paul Moyer. How are you, man?
Man, I thought you were talking about someone else, but thank you. That was a thing of beauty, and I am a man of experience, as you know, with now 4 granddaughters teaching me everything that I didn't know. So it's been good.
4 granddaughters. My goodness. You are outnumbered, my friend, but that's great. That's great.
Yeah, it's been good.
You just had one recently, right?
Just had one Sunday. My son Nick and his wife Kelsey just had another one. So I was babysitting some toddlers, and it's so much fun. I forgot. I forgot when we had them. I'm exhausted every night. I don't even remember when I fall asleep. But when they go down, I'm about 30 minutes behind them. So, but yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Do you have a bottle too, or no?
His bottle's a different color.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, on Sunday. So that's congratulations on that. That's awesome. Make sure you pass along our congratulations to your family, and that's a very cool thing. Before we get into Mariners, we certainly have much to talk about that team. But give me your thoughts on the Seahawks team, because we're out here. It's 2 days in, so there's not a ton happening. There's no hitting. There's no pads yet. But the first game's right around the corner, Paul. August 7th. They go up against the Raiders. How much time did you feel prepared when you think back when you played and you played that first preseason game? And I know there were more preseason games back then, but did you feel like, man, we just got here? Because it feels like, could they learn everything about this offense? Could they learn? How much do you learn before game 1 of the preseason?
Oh, well, to take you back, did I feel prepared and it was right around the corner when camp started? My goodness, no. I mean, my goodness, yes. We had so much camp. Remember, we're doing 2 and 3 a days. The camp was an extra week longer. We usually had about 2.5-3 weeks before our first game. And today they're about the same. They're 2 weeks out from today before they have the Raiders. But yeah, with all the OTAs now, these guys know already the system. So much of what they, from a not game plan, but from a playbook standpoint is already in their practice schedules and stuff. So they're going to be ready. The other thing is most of the young guys in, draft picks are going to get playing time. Yeah, I wanted to win, but it was 3rd, 4th on the list of important things. 1, make sure I remember everything. 2, I got to play lights out. It's all about my performance. You win that game and you play lousy, it means nothing for these young guys. So I think, and for the coaches, yeah, they're prepared. They're not really thinking about, obviously, a game plan. What they're thinking about is, have we got our installation in? Do we need to go back and redo things? Are there things we need to throw out that we've tried throughout the off season and camp? So this is all about what they are, their identity of the team. But nowadays, you're right, Bob. It's, they have 1-a-days. Half the time they practice no more than 6 days a week. They can only be on the field a little over 2 hours. It's a completely different game. I would think that these guys, they're ready for a preseason game. They want to actually go hit people. when Dave and I played, we were so beat up and sore by the time the first preseason game came. That was almost a break. So, yeah, much different.
Paul, let's get right to it. I know that you're a huge Mariner fan, and you've been following this closely. We've been talking a lot today about, whether or not the Mariners are going to be active at the trade deadline. And I don't know. I mean, you hear a lot of different. I think everybody who's a Mariner fan has kind of just assumed that they're going to make a move. But what's your feeling as we get closer to that deadline?
Well, I just think it's critical at this point we do something. We have to do something. Again, Suarez, that's a nice, good field thing. We know him. He's having a great year. I don't know if anything is too costly because it's not like you're going to give up your whole farm system even for a rent a player of his caliber this year. But I know we got to get a first baseman. We just have to. We can move some other parts around, but just when you guys look at Luke Raley and Solano's numbers, they're just not. It's not good enough. We can't have that many corner infielders not hitting for power and driving in runs. You're looking at the last 30 games with Luke Raley. He's at 188 batting average. He's got a slugging of 281. Well, guess what? It's not many better with Solano either. I mean, he's at 256 slugging. He's batting 209, and neither one of them can hit left-handers. And that is the weirdest thing. Solano's batting 339 versus right-handers. He's batting 174 versus lefties, and that's where he's getting the majority of his playing time. So it just has to happen. This isn't about do I like them. I like them both. But if you're not going to play great first base defense, which we're not right now, and now you're hitting at 200 and your OPS is, under 500 or around 500. That's just not going to do it. We're not good enough to go and really make a run or maybe make the playoffs. So you got to make something happen, and it's got to be now. If it hurts a little bit, make it hurt. But, this team, got to be better at pitching. But if you're going to make a legitimate run, you've got to bolster this batting.
Yeah, and Paul, it seems like, we spent a lot of time talking about them taking advantage of the window with this rotation, and most specifically last year, which they did not. I mean, you had just a generational year, 1 through 5, only 7 different starters the entire season, yet you didn't find your way into the postseason. Now it's a different kind of window when you look at how down the league is. There are good teams, there are very good teams, but there isn't that team you look at and go, well, I don't know who beats those guys. They look unbeatable. That team doesn't exist right now, and specifically in the American League. So, and I don't know that they're going to have another opportunity like this where the road is kind of wide open for them. So this feels like a different window that you really need to take advantage of. So do you see them sort of recognizing that as well and saying, all right, yeah, as you said, maybe it hurts a little bit, but it may be worth it because this is our time where the rest of the league is a bit down?
Yeah, I don't want to, I'm not looking to clean out my farm system. I'm not looking to get rid of, 6, 7 of my top prospects. And I don't think you have to, because I do believe we're a young team. You've got this great, and again, I think it's a different farm system we've had in the past. I think these guys are actually getting it done down there. So you don't want to blow that up too much. But you're right. I mean, Detroit had the best record. We take care of them. We have Houston. We take 2 or 3 from them. The Yankees, Detroit, Houston, and Milwaukee, that's a gauntlet. We played 500 against them. I'm okay with that. I would have liked to have obviously had a game or 2 more, coming out of that. But it's certainly acceptable. But it also means we can play with anybody. So, look, it's just there. It's there right now. We just got to bolster the corners. And if it's not both corners, then we need 2 guys from a bat standpoint for depth. We've got to be better. And there's been a bunch of articles written, so I'm not repeating too much that you guys probably haven't talked about. But we've got to upgrade the guys who are the platoon people. And, Raley needs to be a platoon person at this point. You can't be your starting first baseman. It's just not working out. I like Ben Williamson's a ton. And again, if we leave him alone, that's fine. But you can't have 3 of those. So, I still believe we got to bolster or improve on our relief pitching. I think we need to find a dominant reliever if you want to make a serious run in the playoffs. And then our starters just got to be better. I think they flat out got to be better, and they're certainly capable of it. But this is it, Bob. I mean, this is we're 7 days away from the trade deadline today, say 24th. Yep, 7 days away. And you can't go in and say, we're excited about this, we're going to do something, we're well positioned, and not do something. And I wouldn't be surprised they do some big blockbuster trade. There's enough teams out there with guys that you can do it. You have all the pieces to make it happen. I threw out the Matt Olson thing to you guys a week ago. I think you got to go almost and do something like that. It's just you immediately become a legit team. You got a great first baseman, or a good first baseman with power. That lineup gets really scary at that point. 1 through 5, 6, and then you have your role players who are better. We've got to be better when we got left-handed pitchers going up against us, and they start stacking lefties in the bullpen and starters. And right now, to me, we just don't have the right pieces when that happens.
Paul, as always, great stuff. It sounds like one of your 4 granddaughters is requiring your attention in the background, so we're going to let you tend to them. But congratulations on that once again, in all sincerity, and pass that along to your son. And very cool thing happening there. And I look forward to our conversation next week.
We will be at it, and I look forward to it as well. You guys have a great night.
Thanks, Paul. There you go. Paul Moyer with us each and every week. A reminder that the Seahawks preseason home opener is August 7th. We want to send you and 3 of your friends to watch the Seahawks take on the Raiders in person. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app, click the Win tab to find out how. If you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP. Text that to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. It's completely free. You can enter every day to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, July 28th. Meanwhile, there is one Seahawks player who's under more scrutiny than almost any other player in the NFL this season, and it's not who you think. That's coming your way next with Wyman and Bob, live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now. This thing on and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
Walking away from an interaction with a customer that says, I can't believe how easy this was. I can't thank you enough for helping me.
Our strategy with pricing is not to be the highest price and not to be the lowest price, but to be a really good price and to provide a really good experience to the customer.
Yeah, I have a ton of really memorable customers. Afterwards, to thank us, he sent us this beautiful basket of candies and fruits and stuff. It was just really sweet. It felt like we were truly helping.
Receiving a handwritten letter that's personalized to a salesperson or a service advisor or a technician expressing gratitude, and then taking that home and sharing that with your family and hanging that on your refrigerator, that's the difference.
You hear it from one person, and then another, and another. You come to realize it's not a script, it's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit blowingclassic.com for more.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed, all in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data, except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Wyman and Bob.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710. The text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. You guys are free to weigh in on whatever's on your mind. Meanwhile, we're talking about a Seahawks player who's got a ton of scrutiny on him, maybe more than any in the NFL. And this comes courtesy of ESPN. They put out an article where they outline 15 people in the NFL, whether it's a player, a coach, a GM, who are under the most pressure this season. And one of those names, Riq Woolen, not Sam Darnold. Kind of thought it would be that guy, but it's Riq Woolen, which I don't think they're wrong. And the little paragraph they wrote, which Woolen will show up in 2025? Will it be the guy who looked like one of the biggest steals of the 2022 draft as a rookie? Or will it be the guy who's been confusingly underwhelming since? Woolen's numbers and coverage are good, but coaches have seemingly been frustrated with his tackling and inconsistency since returning from a knee injury in 2023. He's been benched at different times in each of the past 2 seasons, most recently in December for undisclosed disciplinary reasons. Cornerbacks with his size and physical traits aren't easy to come by. He was the only 6'4" corner to start a game last season, and big defensive backs who can play are always going to be in demand. Entering the final year of his rookie deal, Woolen will be in a position to make more than $20 million per year in free agency if he has an impressive season.
Well, he's got plenty of motivation, right? There you go.
That's
The
a lot of
$20 million.
motivation. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's such a strange thing because it's so opposite of what you would typically see. You would see that, you have kind of a rough rookie year, and then, second and third year, you start to really come into your own, and it's just the opposite with him. I mean, he made a lot of plays. I mean, he had 6 interceptions his rookie year. He had an interception for a touchdown. He knocked down 16 passes, 3 fumble recoveries. I mean, he was just all over the place, 63 tackles. And I remember that one of the first game, maybe it was a preseason game even, where he came up and just unloaded on our receiver and turned a running play back inside, and didn't really see that last year. And I don't know how much it has to do with the defense changing, but, different assignments. But, yeah, the fact that it's half the production as far as the interceptions go. And then, he had 46 tackles. So, I mean, it just is so much more productive his rookie year. But I think that's the real guy. I just think that, I'm actually pleased to hear that it's not anything physical. He doesn't have any injuries or anything like that. It's just a matter of focusing. Because I feel like you can especially with good coaching, and you got a guy like Mike Macdonald that's constantly on you. I think that's promising to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I get Trey Flowers vibes from him in that we talked about Trey Flowers, his rookie season. He was a surprise. He was a 5th rounder as well. But he was a guy who was switching positions from what he played.
Yeah.
He was a safety at the college level. He's a cornerback at this level, and he had this really impressive rookie season. And you're thinking, wow, if this is his starting point, what's he going to be?
Right.
And he started trending the other way each season after that, whereas it's kind of the same feeling here. You got a 5th rounder in Riq Woolen, who had that tremendous rookie season, Pro Bowler, and then it just started to trend the other way.
Well, it's certainly a fair comp because, I mean, again, he'd gone transition from receiver to corner, and that was, and I think that's maybe a little bit harder, although, if you got like a receiver's mindset, it might help you a little bit. But, yeah, and similar body type as well. So, yeah, I don't know. For me, I'm encouraged by that. And we talked about under the radar, players, and he was one of them. I think you had him as well. That it's really important that he plays well out there, because already you look at, they have Nehemiah Pritchett, they have Josh Jobe, they have Shaquille Griffin, but I more than anything, I'm like, I don't want Spoon to have to play on the outside.
Would you be okay seeing him out there at times, or would you like him exclusively?
I would like to see, at the most like 70-30. I just think he's so valuable, and I think that might, it might lead to that if he doesn't have a good year.
What about the idea? I think one of our texters actually brought it up the other day about him being on the inside and his size and the beating he takes, and that maybe that's not as much as he is an impact player and can make all these plays. Maybe that doesn't set him up for longevity.
Well, I'll tell you what, you look at him when he was at Illinois, and if you go and look at his highlight tape, it's mostly him just knocking the crap out of people.
Right, yeah.
It wasn't about him picking off passes and everything. So, I would say that, he's in coming up year 3? Is that right for him? I mean, I feel like he's already proven there, and I don't know that it's a concern if it hasn't happened by now. I mean, he had the one play where he got hurt and he actually missed time. Spoon, that is that, he was laid out trying to knock a pass down.
Is that the hip? He hurt his hip?
I don't know if it was his hip or his rib, whatever, but it was the play I always describe where it looks like a cat stretching out trying to catch a bird. I mean, he was just like entirely, and he's horizontal to the earth and probably like 6 feet in the air.
The earth.
He fell down, and obviously that's not going to feel good.
Just air between him and the earth.
But yeah, there wasn't anything where he looked outmatched physically, and it's not like he's going to have to be inside taking on big, huge 300-pound linemen, because he just gets around them. He does it in a way. His instincts are phenomenal. I don't even know how to explain it, but like if he goes around a block, he is able to do it on the right side and, get free and not take that punishment. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a fair question and a worry that he is maybe going to, start to wear down a little bit. But, I don't know. He's been over. Talked to John Gruden the other day. He loved him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he was talking about how he's just ferocious, and he is. So I think that's what he's built for.
All right, coming up, Mike Macdonald outlined some key goals for this season after their first practice yesterday. We'll let you hear what he had to say. Coming up with Wyman and Bob live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center at Seattle Sports on 710.
Seahawks training camp is underway.
That is music to the ears.
And nobody gives you more insider access than the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Coach Macdonald sitting down with us right now.
This thing on?
On and ready for you.
Watch how the Seahawks roster comes together.
Seattle Sports training camp coverage is presented by the Landing in Renton.
Seahawks training camp on Seattle Sports on 710, the Seattle Sports app, and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
America's favorite car show is back. It's the Good Guys 37th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals presented by Wicked Fabrication. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Over 2,500 of the Northwest's finest hot rods, muscle cars, and trick trucks. Shop the Fender Midway. A free family fun zone, great live music, Saturday night twilight cruising, and so much more. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center in Puyallup. Details at good-guys.com.
Need a new roof now? With State Roofing and Exteriors, you can get started with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. That's right. Protect your home now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement $999.99 and qualifying ported. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
All right, Takis fans. Wendy's knows you love your Takis Fuego chips. So we thought, why not make a Takis Fuego meal with a Takis Fuego chicken sandwich with spicy chicken topped with crushed Takis Fuego chips and creamy corn spread. Plus, it comes with Fuego fries inspired by Takis and a bag of Takis Fuego chips. If we had any more heat, we might start an actual... I told him this would happen. For an intense new take on Takis chips, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Includes 1-ounce Takis Fuego chips while supplies last. Takis and Fuego trademarks are used under license.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners taken to the road. They face off against the Angels in game one of that series tonight. They're going to send Logan Evans to the hill. The Angels will counter with former Mariner Yusei Kikuchi. So an interesting pitching matchup in game one of this series. That's happening tonight right here, starting at 5:30 with a pregame show. 6:40 first pitch, Seattle Sports on 710. Meanwhile, one final in the books today. Orioles beat the Guardians. Right now, the Tigers out to a 1-0 lead over the Blue Jays. That one in the bottom of the second. Still to come, Cardinals host the Padres. A's on the road to take on the Astros. One other bit of news in the world of sports. Hulk Hogan, who was about as big of a celebrity when it comes to wrestling as there ever was, passed away today at the age of 71 years old in Clearwater, Florida. Authorities were responding to a call this morning about a cardiac arrest. Hogan was pronounced dead at the hospital.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. It's Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports 710. You guys can text in throughout the show at 866-979-3776. Weigh in on whatever's on your mind. We've moved indoors for those of you watching on the stream. We were outside initially. Practice wrapped up. Guys got in the weight room, which we were positioned in front of, and the stereo was turned up to 14. So we had moved our production indoors now.
Yeah, you know what? It was like that when Pete was here all the time.
Yeah.
When we were outside. So
we didn't have the option to move inside then.
But yeah, I mean, just there's kind of a lack of airflow, and then I also I feel like I'm gonna have to slap Lefko's hand away at some point. I don't know. He's making me nervous over here.
Well, I have to reach there, which is right in front of you.
When he reaches in front of me,
well, he's kind of getting into dangerous area there. It's a little too.
I don't want to reach over there. Believe me.
You seem kind of eager. You seem kind of eager.
I just won't talk the rest of the show. That'll make everyone happy. So.
Yeah, Lefko's back, by the way. He spent 3 days holding Brock's hand, so good to have him back and joining us here. And thank you for guiding Brock through those days. Otherwise, would have been a catastrophe.
He just would have been panicked.
No, I know.
Wouldn't know what to do.
He doesn't know how to do anything by himself. So you were there to guide him through, shepherd him through. It was beautiful. Meanwhile, there was a lot to catch up on with Mike Macdonald. Day one of training camp yesterday. Today we had day two. But Mike Macdonald speaking with the media yesterday, a couple different things. First of all, just sort of outlining some of the goals as he sees it heading into his second season.
You know, second time around, I think it's the same message to the rest of the team. If you don't have the mentality of, hey, let's assess where we were, what we were thinking, why we were doing the things, how we can learn, how we can grow, I'm right there with the guys. And, yeah, I'd say more confident, more like just have a better feel for what we're trying to achieve on a day-in, day-out basis, how we message things, keeping it a little tighter, just a connection with the guys, just being around for another year, whole staff really. So, yeah, it's really exciting, but a lot of growth.
I can't imagine how much better he feels, Dave, compared to this time last year, because we talked about it a bunch, but it had to feel like cramming for a test. You know, he got the job, had to get ready for the draft, had to hire his staff, everything was just hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And, you know, making changes mid-season, linebackers, like here are the guys we signed in the offseason halfway through. Nope, they're not it. We got to get a different answer. Here comes Ernest Jones. I mean, everything was just kind of, you know, he never showed it outwardly, but the time frame in which he had to work was really compacted and really condensed. So I'm guessing he would say there was a lot of learning on the fly.
Oh, yeah.
And then now coming in, having the full off season and the full preparation time, you know, to prepare for the draft and prepare for camp. And I'm wondering, you know, maybe if we ever get a chance to talk to him this season, just how much did you change? What'd you do last season that you said, okay, that didn't work, I'm doing it this way this year?
Yeah, well, we asked one of my favorite things, just because it was such a relief for me. I mean, in the offseason between my rookie and second year, I got a house. I mean, I was living in an apartment. I got all of my stuff moved up finally. You know, I didn't know if I was going to get cut or traded. Almost did.
Were you still driving your pickup truck?
Oh, yeah. I was driving the pickup truck. And then second year, I went and got a Ford Bronco, which I thought was about the coolest thing ever.
You're like, I made it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it was, and as much as that is a huge transition for a player, I just can't imagine. I mean, he also had a child last year.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, you talk about
forgot about that little instance.
Life changes, man. I mean, you know, the other thing is dragging your family, your wife across the country and, you know, trying to get settled in. And that's what makes it so, because you mentioned the mid-season trade for Ernest Jones. And, you know, that was something I think a lot of coaches would have, if in their first year, gone, yeah, let's wait. You know, let's just see what happens. Same thing when they fired Grubb. I mean, he was just, you know, it didn't affect his decision making because he's a guy that's, you know, he's not going to sit on his hands, and so he certainly didn't lose that part of it. And but yeah, but I'm sure it's just so much better for him. There's probably some things that he didn't kind of roll out, you know, some of his coaching ideas because he was so busy trying to keep up, right? He was just trying to keep his head above water. And then, you know, then you got to do the media stuff. I mean, that also is a huge deal for him. So, yeah, I mean, as much as we talk about players coming back the second year and a relief and everything, for him, oh my gosh. I mean, and especially the stuff going on in his personal life. So, yeah, it's I think he's going to be much more comfortable, of course, but also, you know, he just I mean, he's at the point, remember in the offseason when him and Schneider made that little joke where they slapped high fives. I mean, you know, he's back to
so
being
goofy,
being himself. Yeah, it was goofy, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, they were very proud of that joke,
yes,
whatever it was.
Yeah, Lefko had it on.
Oh, we got a still shot of that?
Video.
Well, Dave and I found the audio because he was talking about it one day when you were on vacation, and we found it. They were talking about Joey Lane. So you guys were talking about Ernest Jones,
right?
And that he'd come on and done the interview right after the season ended, and Dave was mentioning, oh, it took a lot of work to get that job, get it done, and you mentioned like, oh yeah, Joey Lane must have worked hard to get that done, and then you went into a question about Joey Lane, and both John and Macdonald were like, oh, Joey Lane joined you? Joey Lane joined you on the show?
I went into a thing about Ernest Jones.
And they thought you still were right.
And he goes, oh, you mean, because I said we interviewed him. So, yeah, I mean, it was so.
I got to be honest, it's not that good of a joke.
It wasn't, but as long as they thought it was funny.
I like that the high five was captured there.
Yeah.
Can we tweet that picture out? That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a great picture.
Yeah.
They're very proud of each other.
Yeah. They
So
love
good.
that. But I mean, you know, and look, that's a corny, funny dad joke and everything. But I mean, I think those two guys have spent a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And they're tight. So, yeah, I mean, there was so much more that he had to think about other than coaching last year. So, yeah, I mean, I expect him to have, you know, take a huge jump as far as but my point still is the fact that even during all of that I still can't get over it that they traded a linebacker and fired the other one and brought in Ernest Jones. And I'm like, I remember watching Ernest Jones in LA. I thought he was good. How do you know that guy's the answer?
Yeah, maybe he doesn't work either.
Yeah.
I mean,
so, yeah, I mean, it was a huge move. They also had at that time their center retire, Connor Williams. So, yeah, it was. I think that was all around the bye week, and yeah, there was a lot going on. And I think he's going to look back to his rookie year as a head coach and go, wow, there's a lot of stuff that went on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited to see him go into the second year, just much like a player.
Well, here he is just talking about what it is he worked on in the offseason.
That's a good question. Probably this, like from the spring till now, more offense. I think you're trying to understand in the time from the end of the season to off-season program, like structurally where you want to try to take some of our defenses. So, yeah, but in the summer it's probably more so towards our opponents.
Yeah, I mean that's something, we talked about them starting fast, because really what happens is once you install all of your stuff, everything from that point forward when the regular season starts is about your opponent. All of the good coaches will, keep track of things that, hey, we need to work on this or we need to work on that. I remember Chuck Knox used to would run against our defense like 5 to 10 plays that we screwed up. And, you went through it and did all the correction. I thought that was really, because by the end of the season, you do that 5 times, for every game, and hopefully you don't have that many, but, he would pick the number 5 and like, okay, maybe it only gave up 12 yards, but we need to fix this. And so, he's going to have, a lot more time for that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm excited about it. The other thing I think about is having a defensive mind, kind of challenge the offensive coordinator. Like, okay, how are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? I mean, most coaches are offensive guys, right? We talked to John Gruden for whatever reason, man. I thought John Gruden was like a special team defensive guy, but he was an offensive coordinator all the way. And when we talked to him beforehand, I was like, oh, that's right, you're a big offensive guy. And most guys that are coaching in the NFL are. So yeah, I think it might give them a little bit of an advantage, and him challenging Clint Kubiak on what he's doing and what he's trying to get done, and I think those two are going to work really well together.
One of the things we did yesterday and the day before actually was you and I came up with a list of our top 5 under the radar consequential players. So we're basically eliminating. Obviously, the most consequential player on the roster is your starting quarterback, Sam Darnold. And we always talk about Witherspoon and Big Cat. We eliminated those guys from the conversation. They're the obvious consequential players. So we came up with our list of under the radar, if you will. And doesn't mean you don't know who they are by any stretch. But one of mine, or I think he was part of my 3-way tie, was Uchenna Nwosu. Yeah. Because I don't know if he's ever going to get right physically. We know who he is when he's healthy. And he's a problem, and he's a presence. But he's just really had a hard time. I think he's played 6 games in each of the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So he's just not been available. He's currently on the PUP list with a knee situation. But head coach Mike Macdonald gives a potentially concerning injury update on Nwosu.
Do we not have that clip?
We'll see. We'll see. We're going to the season probably throughout the rest of camp, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, I mean, I think we'll just hold on to the timeline right now. But we're not necessarily close right now.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good. In 2023, went back and looked up these numbers last year. He started the first 6 games of the year, and then he got hurt. He tore his pec. The numbers defensively just entirely went south. I mean,
for the team after.
Yeah. I mean, you look at how much they were giving up against the run, and then just yards and points and everything. I mean, in the first 6 games, I mean, it was incredible the numbers that their defense was putting up. So, yeah, he's very important, and not as much from even just a statistical standpoint and what he provides there, but also his leadership on the field is huge. So, yeah, I kind of worry about that, but that's one of those positions where you do have DeMarcus Lawrence, and you do have Derek Hall, and you do have Boye Mafe. And, and with him, if he's healthy, you got 4 to play 2 spots.
Yeah. So you sort of touching on my next question. Do you feel like they need to address it, like bring somebody in? We do know they have a lot of salary cap space now, right?
Yes, we do.
They cleared up even more. They had room already, and then they made the deal with Noah Fant, releasing him, which cleared up almost $9 million more.
Yeah.
So could you see them using some of that, or maybe they got a big move in store that they're working on? Who knows? But do you feel like, okay, you need to bring in another person to address this, or they're fine with what they've got?
Well, for me, I think there's other positions that are more urgent. You know,
Inside linebacker.
I would look at depth at inside linebacker. You know, I was talking to somebody today who's like, how come they didn't add any free agency? In free agency, why didn't they add any offensive linemen? And then tight end now all of a sudden comes into the mix. So I don't know. I feel like that's a place where they're pretty well set. But you know, maybe we'll see Macdonald go to John and say, hey, we got to have another edge rusher. And yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think the fact that Big Cat Leonard Williams is so versatile, and so is DeMarcus Lawrence, that kind of alleviates the need for maybe another edge rusher, because honestly, you can put Big Cat on the outside, you know, so, and certainly Lawrence. But I think the thing with Lawrence, it's amazing that he can play inside, and same thing, or the other way around for Leonard, that it's amazing that he can play outside because he's such a big guy. But I don't know, to me, if you ask me, I would say that's not the priority, but it seems like John always does something that you wouldn't think of. And then it's like his reasoning, you know, comes back, and Mike Macdonald, you know, like we talked about, more clear on exactly what he needs to make this defense go this year.
Well, we talked about, you know, maybe lack of depth at the cornerback spot. They went out and got Shaquille Griffin, who everybody knows out here, and obviously he's an older player. I'm not sure how they plan on using him, what his role will be, but Mike Macdonald talking about what it means to have Shaq back as part of their group.
Well, it was something that we were working through. There's a process behind it. You know, we had Shaq come in and visit, and he had a great visit. Kind of Twilight Zone, coming back into the building, and offices are flipped around, new faces and everything. But he fits in great. You know, the building, the staff love him, and you know, it's kind of only a couple days with the rest of the DB room. But he's going to be a guy we're going to lean on, being a vet presence and with those guys. And it's been fun so far. But excited to get him out there working with the rest of the team.
They have 10 corners.
Yeah.
10 corners. So
they got a lot of bodies. How many do they have? How many do they that you look at it like this is a legit player?
Shaquille Griffin,
right?
And then Josh Jobe, Nehemiah Pritchett, and then Spoon and Woolen. So the other guys are, you know, kind of no-name guys. And you know, you're talking about Josh Jobe and Nehemiah Pritchett. I mean, those guys are like what Mike described, you know, the 3, 4, and 5, you know, meaning third, fourth, and fifth, you know, string guys are going to have to battle it out.
Yeah.
As far as getting on the field. So
would you want to see Shaq on the outside? Like, do you think at this point in his career he can be a starting corner, or is he more of a depth guy, a veteran presence?
That's kind of what I thought, but you know, and maybe they can play him inside. I think he's a little on the bigger side, isn't he? Shaq Griffin, our guy. Yeah, he's 6 foot, 200 pounds. So, but he is 30 years old. So, but
he's old.
But I think veteran leadership and just, you know, knowledge of the game and everything. And, you know, Moyer probably, I don't know if he'd like me saying this or not, but Moyer stayed in the league, you know, for a long time because of his smarts. You know, don't tell him I said that.
Why wouldn't he like that?
Well, because he's slow.
So you're saying it wasn't his athleticism that kept him in the league?
He said something about beating me in a 40, and I gave him the no.
Just like
he gave me. No, sorry. No, but I mean, no.
What was that? Oh, you were talking about Farrell Brown being a good blocker.
Yeah.
He's like
no.
So that's what you said to him about a 40 race between you two?
That's right. Even now. But anyway, but yeah, no, I mean, he was such a smart player. And if you have that, it can take a couple of seconds off your, not a couple seconds, but, you know, hundredths or whatever off your 40 time.
It can make up for his lack of athleticism.
I'll tell you what, Moyer is a gamer. Like I played against him in basketball, and I was a good basketball player, and he had like the quickest hands, and he was knocking the ball out and everything. Like he finds a way to be good at pretty much everything.
He's got moxie, Dave.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some veteran savvy to him.
He's a gamer, man. You're going to get all you can handle from Moyer. But yeah, I mean, getting back to Shaquille, yeah, I think I mean, I'm sure the speed has gone down a little bit, but just the knowledge of having been in the game for 9 years.
Hey, I was thinking of this last night. I wrote this question down. I'm curious to get your answer. Which player, and you guys can text in on this as well at 866-979-3776. Which player is most likely to have either the bounce back season, right? We looked at their season last year and went, either it wasn't great or it was solid but could be better, or they had a good season, but you think they're going to take a big step this season.
Back.
So
huge step.
Yeah. So either somebody you thought, it was fairly like A.J. Barner would be somebody I'd look at and go, I like this season. He didn't put up crazy numbers, but he made you believe this could be a big season for him. Or maybe on the other part of that question, maybe it's Riq Woolen, who we looked at and said, I don't know how I feel about him, but I do think he's poised to have a big season this year.
Yeah, I've thought that way about Barner, that I think he can be, when it's all, when the dust settles, that he could be the leading receiver at tight end in this franchise's history, just because, and he didn't put up huge numbers, but that was a really good rookie year for him. Mm-hmm. And the blocking, I gave a couple examples yesterday of like him just knowing when to let go, and because they all hold. And I just think everything about him, and so like a huge jump for me with him would be like being a George Kittle. Like, can he be one of those elite tight ends? And they're going to have lots of tight ends on the field, but if you have one guy that's just elite, I think he has the ability to have that, be that kind of player.
I was hoping you were going to say Byron Murphy.
Yeah.
I really
thought
want
about
him
Byron Murphy.
I want him to be that wrecking ball that we'd heard so much about, and not that he had a bad rookie season. It was just sort of nondescript. You kind of didn't, forgot about him at times.
But if you look at the sacks, like what's he going to get? What's a good year for an inside rusher? Like,
it was more about just hearing his name,
4.5.
Just noticing him during games. Like, whoa, man, he's a problem, right? I mean, Mebane was that guy. Mebane was a guy you just recognized. Yeah. Whoa, did you see what he did there? He didn't come up with the sacks, really, but he was just
game record.
You heard his name throughout the broadcast. And then Murphy, for whatever reason, just, he was a rookie.
He was there.
Yeah, there were games, it felt like there were a number of games where did I hear his name called at all? Did I hear?
Yeah.
Was he even identified or acknowledged by, something he did? And it was just kind of a nondescript season for him. Not bad, again, not ripping him, but just he came out and he was, amongst the best, if not the best defensive player coming out of college that year. And there was a lot of excitement and hype around him. So I'm hoping to see him take that big step this year.
Yeah. And like I said, at that position, I mean, what are you going to get? 4.5 sacks, 5 sacks,
maybe.
unless you're Aaron Donald,
right? Or Big Cat.
Yeah. Exactly. But and I guess for me, A.J. Barner, the big jump, just because, I mean, he was a 4th rounder.
Yeah.
And he's coming into his 2nd year. But, and tight end is very important here. But, I think you're going to see Byron Murphy show up. I think he's going to take that big leap. But, again, I don't think it's going to be him getting, double-digit sacks or anything.
Right. Hey, if you missed any part of the show, or maybe you just want to go watch things over again, you can check out our Wyman and Bob channel on the Seattle Sports YouTube page. It's right there for you. You can search Seattle Sports, search Wyman and Bob. We're on all the social media platforms like X and Instagram and Threads and Blue Sky, all that stuff. So you can search all that stuff. It's completely free. All of our conversations and interviews are right there for you. Meanwhile, we're going to weigh in on how the final months of the season will play out for this Mariners team once they get past the trade deadline. That is coming up next with Wyman and Bob, live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center at Seattle Sports on 710.
He's one of the greatest.
The pitch to Ichiro.
And Sunday,
There it is, number 200, a bullet.
Ichiro takes his rightful place in baseball's Hall of Fame.
Number 258, a major league record for Ichiro. My, oh my, Ichiro!
Mariners insider Shannon Drayer delivers complete coverage from Cooperstown at seattlesports.com and the Seattle Sports app.
Ichiro, you are unbelievable!
I know a lot of you out there have checked in online on our text line talking about some of the pain you live with. Maybe you've had a really active youth. You played football, you played contact sports, and you've just been active your whole life perhaps. And maybe you're paying the price now and talking about surgery or even joint replacement. But before you do that, let me give you some advice here. It's Bob Stelton, and I recommend you go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. I did, It's been a game changer. Now, I heard my partner Dave Wyman talking about all the aches and pains he's had from an NFL career. He got paid to destroy his body. I paid to destroy mine in jiu-jitsu for 14 years, but we both came out feeling a lot of pain and both went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, and it has been a game changer. Like I said, I had multiple issues going on in my hip, and I loved his honesty right up front. He said, look, this isn't going to fix everything, but it's going to go a long way. You got a torn labrum. You got this frayed tendon. You've got arthritis developing, all kinds of things, but it was an option before surgery, before going under the knife. It was worth it, and I came out of there going, man, I am glad I did it, because I had heard so many patients rave about the results from that 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner, who is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience in performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joint. So if you've got severe osteoarthritis, bone on bone, maybe it gets you back to doing what you enjoy doing, and doing it without pain, and more importantly, without surgery. So whether it's a knee, shoulder, elbow, ankle, maybe it's a hip like I've got, before choosing surgery, do what I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. Again, that's drmarkwagnermd.com.
The 2025 Seahawks season is almost here. Get fitted for game days with jerseys, caps, and tees, including the 2025 training camp collection. Visit the Seahawks Pro Shop at the Landing in Renton and Lumen Field, or online at seahawks.com/pro shop.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
The Davis Law Group Charity Golf Tournament heads to the Prospector Course in Suncadia on August 20th. Proceeds benefit Life Support I-90, funding life-saving training and equipment for the first responders on call every day, covering the thousands of travelers heading over the I-90 corridor east of Snoqualmie Pass through Cle Elum and the surrounding areas. Tee times and sponsor packages are limited, so sign up today at dlggolf.com. That's dlggolf.com, because the life you save could be your own.
This hour is serviced by the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Wyman and Bob.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
Weekdays 2 to 7.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We continue live from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center with Wyman and Bob, Seattle Sports on 710, seattlesports.com. A reminder, the text line is there for you at 866-979-3776. Mariners get back to business tonight. They're on the road to take on the Angels. Game 1 of that series. Logan Evans will be on the hill against Yusei Kikuchi, former Mariner starter. So we'll see how that one turns out. They need to do well on this road trip. They need to stay in the thick of this thing up until that trade deadline, and then we'll see what they acquire, if it's bats, if it's pitching, a combination of the two. But I was thinking about this.
How about another 1-0 game?
Just win. I don't care how
Just
you do
win,
it.
but
I'd feel better if the offense really got going, but if it's 1-0, okay, so be it.
Yeah, but I mean, that'll keep the foot on the pedal as far as trying to get more offense in here.
I don't think there's anything that can happen between now and then offensively that would change
They're done.
I think they have their path. I think they have their targets. I think they were making calls. We talked to Jason Churchill earlier in the show, and he talked about hearing from whoever his sources are that they're talking to contending teams about players on their roster. So,
I think every fan base thinks that they're the most important. Like of course we need this, but you got some buyers out there, and that's the thing. And
it's interesting that they would call. I don't know, Brewers. I'm just throwing it out there. Best record in baseball.
Yeah.
All right, hey, we're interested in this guy on your roster. Typically, the contending teams are like, we're not getting rid of anybody. Yeah. But I guess they're leaving no stone unturned, according to Jason. So we'll see what they end up with. But here's a what if, and it's kind of a negative one. But I'm looking at this going, okay, let's pretend hypothetically they go out there and they get 2 bats. I don't know who they are, but you can say Suarez and Naylor. Let's just for argument's sake. They go out and get those guys. We're all happy, right? We're all going, okay, those are top shelf guys that are presumed to be available, and you got them, and they still don't make the playoffs. Who are we mad at then?
What did
ourselves? Where is our anger as a fan base directed? Because right now that anger gets directed at ownership, and it gets directed at Jerry. If they go out and they make those deals and they bring in the two of the bigger names. I mean, right now, Gino's the biggest name out there that gets talked about the most in relation to other teams wanting him. Hypothetically, if they do that, and for whatever reason, they don't make it.
Yeah, well, I would say that, first of all, what did you give up for him?
Let's say it was minor leaguers. So you're not missing anybody off. Maybe they gave up Ben Williamson.
Yeah. And then, I mean, if you clean the cupboards as far as your prospects go, then I think, people are going to be doubly pissed off. But I think, look, you have to either be all in or not, and you can't, play it both ways. If you're a fan, you have to go, well, that's what I wanted, and it just didn't work out.
Then do we start looking at Dan Wilson going, hey, you were given the tools, you were given all the pieces, and you still didn't make it? Because at that point, you're not in a position to really go, well, they didn't do anything. Well, they went out and got the premier guy available and another guy who's right there toward the top of the list in Naylor for, the sake of this argument. And hypothetically, it just didn't work out. I don't know, maybe the pitching doesn't ever get close to what you need it to be. I don't know why you would make it, but just playing. I was thinking about that last night. Like, man, if they go out and get 2 bats and they get a a leverage arm in the bullpen, and I don't know.
Yeah,
other
I would
teams
think,
get hot and they don't make it.
I would think what you said, that then all of a sudden all of the ire will be directed at Dan Wilson.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you make it work? But I don't know. I think you can't play it both ways. I mean, if he did, Jerry and Justin do that, I think everybody's going to be happy. And if they don't make the playoffs, you got to. And then, you're going to look at that and go, oh, man, we cleaned the cupboards as far as our prospects go. Well, you got to own that.
Yeah.
And that, so, yeah, this is maybe as curious as I've ever been at the trade deadline. And for any team, I can't wait to see what they sure do a good job as far as like the media. And, we always talk about Pearson here and what a great job he does of like keeping everything in house, loose lips, sink ships. We haven't heard like hardly anything from coming out of there. I have no idea what the hell they're going to do.
I mean, Jason said, which I hadn't heard from others, that they're calling contending teams. I hadn't heard that. I've certainly heard about inquiries with teams that we know are sellers, and obviously talking to Arizona. Those, the reports of those conversations has already started a while ago. So that's not a surprise, and I'm glad they're happening. If they're calling, I don't know, the Brewers, the Cubs, the Yankees, the Dodgers, I don't know which contending teams they're calling, but hypothetically, those are, some of the better teams in baseball, and you're kicking the tires on players on those teams, where typically they're like, no, we're in the thick of this. We're not getting rid of players. We're acquiring.
Yeah.
We're buyers. You guys have that wrong.
I just remember interviewing Jerry Dipoto, and this was like the La Stella, and help me out with the other
Colton
names.
Wong, A.J. Pollock.
Oh,
that was a banner crop.
Was Frazier also kind of?
No, that was the Jesse Winker.
Yeah. And I just remember talking to him about it, and he goes, well, I mean, they didn't. The guys did not play up to what's on the back of their baseball card. They just weren't. If you look at Pro Baseball Reference, they just didn't. And I remember Jerry going, yeah, those guys just didn't work out. Well, what if that happens? You get Eugenio Suarez, maybe it's O'Hearn, maybe it's Josh Naylor, and bring him in here, and at the end of the year, he's like, yeah, it just didn't work out. That's what everybody wanted.
Yeah,
and the numbers told you that's.
And there you hit the big difference when you bring up the year that they brought Wong and Pollock and La Stella. That wasn't who everybody wanted.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted.
Right.
Nobody. They weren't. I don't think there was a competition for those players. I think there was disappointment with those moves because that was on the heels of the 2022 playoff run. And we're like, hey, you're just a bat or two away. And, they're right there. And then they went out there and went bargain basement hunting. And it didn't work. So to your question, if they go out and get Gino, that's a player everybody seems universally in line with. Yes, bring him here. Now, there might be some conversation about what you give up for him. That's where disagreements would come into play, but I don't think there's anybody that I've seen, whether it's social media or hitting us on the text line, saying, no, that guy's not going to help. Don't bring him here. Everybody's like, yes, absolutely. So,
since we're doing what-if scenarios here, what if they don't do anything, and then Jerry comes out and says, I want you all to be patient?
Are you trying to get him hurt? What are you trying to do?
Do you think people in Seattle are going to set cars on fire?
I think that could have a really, really poor response.
You could set my car on fire. It's a piece of crap. It really is.
So they'd be mad at Jerry for what he said. Where's Wyman's car?
Yeah. That's fine.
I'm going to teach this front office a lesson. Give me Wyman's car.
I could live with that.
Yeah, I'm going to guess he won't say that.
I might set my own car on fire.
I'd say, I didn't do it. It was angry Mariner fans. They were mad at Dipoto, so they took it out on my car.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, I've always said, I like Jerry. I think he's a great interview. I think he's done a good job. He's built up the farm system really well. You got great pitching, and
that's why he's
done
still
a good
like
job.
you.
But I just think he people don't like him because of the things that he says, and sometimes he's blunt, and
sometimes he misspeaks.
I would just say this, though. It's not his job to pacify everybody's feelings, okay? So, yeah, I mean, and when people get mad about him and the things that he says, we're like, well, too bad.
Hey, a reminder, the Seahawks preseason home opener is right around the corner, August 7th, and we want to send one of you and 3 friends to watch the Seahawks take on the Raiders in person. All you need to do is open the Seattle Sports app and click the Win tab to find out how. Now, if you don't already have the app, just text the word app, APP. Text that to 866-979-3776. We'll send you a link to download it. It's completely free. You can enter every day to increase your chances to win. The contest runs through Monday, July 28th. All right, there are some important storylines emerging around NFL training camps. We're going to catch you up on all of them when we sweep the dial. That is coming your way next with Wyman and Bob. This is Seattle Sports on 710.
ESPN senior MLB insider Jeff Passan with Brock and Saul.
Right before the trade deadline, where does this roster sit out of the 30 in baseball?
There is no dominant team this year, guys. It is a wide open landscape in Major League Baseball. There is no dominant team. And if you can put yourself in the position where you get one of those golden tickets, I firmly believe the Seattle Mariners can win a World Series this year.
Get more on the Seattle Sports YouTube page and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman here for Harley Exteriors. And when you hear Harley Exteriors, think windows manufactured right here in Washington, specifically designed for our Pacific Northwest climate. Olympic Series windows are offered exclusively by Harley Exteriors, and this is the window that you want. It looks absolutely stunning, much better than a traditional vinyl window, and these windows last up to 60 years. That's right, 60. So they're going to lower your energy bills and provide year-round comfort, and they come with a double lifetime fully transferable warranty, meaning not only are you covered for glass breaking or damaged seals, it's going to help your home's resale value. It's very affordable with options like 0 payments and 0 interest up to 12 months for qualified buyers. And in July, Harley Exteriors is offering 50% off basic installation, and that's just in July. There's no payments, no interest for 12 months, and an additional $200 off your project. So think Harley Exteriors for windows, doors, and more right here in the Puget Sound. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as, that's 888-665-0696.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Seattle Sports is giving you a shot at 4 tickets to see the Seahawks host the Raiders August 7th. Just open the Seattle Sports app, tap the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter. You can enter once per day, so the more you enter, the better your chances. Enter daily from July 23rd through 28th. Full details and rules at seattlesports.com/win. Only from the home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple one-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Scanning the airwaves for the most interesting and entertaining stories of the day. Sweeping the Dial. Every afternoon at 4:45 with Wyman and Bob.
Presented by Silver Reef Casino Resort.
I know the move itself wasn't necessarily surprising, the Seahawks releasing Noah Fant. It was just kind of the timing of it, days before the start of training camp. Mike Macdonald was asked about it yesterday when he spoke for the first time, and he talked about why they moved. Well, not why, but he just kind of talked about moving on from Noah Fant.
I didn't have any conversations with him. It's just understood that, we're in what we're trying to achieve as a football team. I mean, we love Noah, wish him the best, but we also love the guys that are still here, and they know what's at stake, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching that competition in the tight end room.
Yeah, we also love the guys that are here. So, to me, the end.
Yeah,
I
we
think,
got Arroyo, who's his comp. He's younger and cheaper.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. I was looking at those guys out there today. Saubert, who's the journeyman guy.
I was watching him.
Dude's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are some big guys that they have at tight end. So, and Arroyo is big and fast. But, you've got a guy named Marshall Lang out there, and Nick Callerup. Then the other thing, Robbie Utes, who's a big dude, and he was a tight end, really, at Alabama. I'm sure he played some fullback, but...
Yeah, Brady Russell.
And then you got
out
Brady
there
Russell.
today.
Yeah, and he looks like he really worked hard over the offseason. So, yeah, kind of sounds like Stan Pat as far as tight end goes.
Sweeping the Dial.
Well, with Tyreek Hill, there's some drama. Usually there was with the Dolphins last year. I guess at the very end of the season, he said, I'm done. I'm not coming back to Miami. Well, he's back. He's still with the Dolphins.
He's just misunderstood.
He's misunderstood. No one gets him, Bob.
That's right.
So Tua Tagovailoa, who is the quarterback, who has to stand there and get asked about all of his teammates, he outlined the work that Tyreek Hill has to do in order to repair relationships with his teammates now.
I would say we're still continuing to do that. But it's not just with me. It's with a lot of the guys. I'm not the only one that heard that. You guys aren't the only people that heard that. A lot of people that follow football, that follow the Miami Dolphins, that follow Tyreek, that are fans of his. Everyone has seen that. So When you say something like that, you don't just come back from that with, hey, my bad. You got to work that relationship up. You got to build everything up again. And yeah, it's still a work in progress, not just for me, but for everybody.
I used to tell
my bad.
I love that. When I was coaching high school football, the guys would come up and go, Coach, that was my bad. And I would look at him and go, yes, I know that. Okay.
You're not breaking news.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, what does Tyreek Hill need to do? Just stop talking.
I don't know if he can.
Be quiet.
I don't know if that's possible, but I like that it's not just me. You all heard it. That's everybody. It's just like, yeah, everybody in there thought he was a creep.
Yeah, but I mean, saying, oh, my bad. I mean, it's just like,
just kidding.
Trying to deflect, like, no, you've got to go through the punishment for this, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's trying to fast forward past it. And, yeah, that's why I used to say that to the kids.
Sweeping the dial.
Seems like there's a lot of optimism around the Bears this season. They loaded up their offensive line. Ben Johnson was the hot name, the offensive guru with the Lions. Certainly you can see what he did with Jared Goff. So coming in there, Caleb Williams, the #1 draft pick. A lot thought of what these two could do. And Caleb was asked kind of what Ben Johnson asked of him this offseason.
Part of the homework is, some of it was footwork. Some of it was not necessarily homework, but just, helping guideline the offseason and, could get through the playbook, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, hour each day. It's 24 hours a day. If you can't give up an hour or 30 minutes of your day to go over the playbook, you probably shouldn't be in this position. So it's just small things like that. But, homework-wise, it was mainly the footwork and then some left kind of short throws that, in OTAs I was missing. And so worked on those every single day that I threw, and then worked on my footwork every single day that I was out there also.
I like that answer if I'm a Bears fan.
Oh,
he sounds very conscientious. He sounds like
he sounds like the opposite of Kyler Murray.
I was just about to say that, where he's talking about, like, if you can't dedicate an hour or 30 minutes to the playbook, you probably shouldn't be in this position. I was thinking,
isn't that funny?
Tyler, are you listening?
Isn't that funny that he's like widely known for that?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray. But
he's lived up to it.
Yeah.
Or down to it, however you want to do it.
Down to it. Yeah. Loved everything I heard from Caleb Williams. And I know people were saying that he's kind of a different individual, and he marches to the beat of a different drummer and all that. But I mean, those are things that set you up for success. So you got to love hearing that if you're Ben Johnson.
Well, he sounded like a veteran. He just sounded like a pro, just mentally, the way he's approaching it.
Well, technically, he's like in his 4th year as far as sacks go.
Yeah.
What do you get sacked? Like, was it
177? I'm just kidding. It was
like,
in the 70s. I think it was 76 or something, 74.
Yeah.
He got sacked a lot.
Yeah.
And how many were his fault? Maybe he was patting the ball too long, trying to keep, he's got to learn when I don't know. We didn't watch every Bears game, obviously, but he's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of, and we did hear that, he was a little different even at USC, that if you weren't his direct coach or you didn't coach his position, he didn't have time for you, kind of thing. I remember hearing that, but he sounds very dialed in and very, look, this is my job. This is what I do. Here's what I worked on. Here's some things I was missing. I worked on that. I'd love that if I'm a Bears fan.
Yeah, he sounds like a professional. He became a pro. So, yeah, some of those things were kind of weird, but root for the kid.
Yeah.
As long as we're not playing him.
Yeah, as long as they've got no impact on the Seahawks, I can root for him.
Held them to 3 points last year.
Is he going to be the first one to throw for what's the nobody's throwing
for Chicago Bears
30 touchdowns, right?
30 touchdowns,
3,000 yards, and
is it 3,000?
3,000?
Nobody's
4,000.
Nobody's thrown over 30 touchdowns, and then is it 3,000?
Must be 4,000. That would be really bad if it was 3,000.
I think it's 3,000, guys.
No, because they had Cutler for a while.
Like Mike Tomczak or somebody like that.
Yeah, they had Smoking Jay Cutler. He had
it's 30 touchdowns. Eric Kramer has 29.
Okay.
It must be 4,000.
It's got to be 4,000. Yeah, because
I don't know.
I mean, they made it to the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman.
Eric Kramer also 3,838 yards.
4,000.
Yeah.
It just gets worse and worse for me.
So Eric Kramer's the greatest quarterback in Bears history.
Oh, man.
Stat-wise.
I remember the Eric Kramer era, don't you?
No. No, I do not.
No, it's such an oddity because I think this whole thing started was when, remember the rumors came out that Russ wanted to be traded, and that was one of the teams.
The Bears, yeah. He probably could have said all their franchise marks.
Did you just say the Bears?
The Bears.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what you do after you
lived
live there
in
for a while.
Chicago.
Yeah. All right, coming up, what did Cal think about his whirlwind week at the All-Star Game? We're going to hear about that in the latest installment of the Cal Raleigh Show. That is coming your way next with Wyman and Bob at Seattle Sports on 710.
He's one of the greatest.
The pitch to Ichiro.
And Sunday,
There it is, number 200, a bullet.
Ichiro takes his rightful place in baseball's Hall of Fame.
Number 258, a major league record for Ichiro. My, oh my, Ichiro!
Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer delivers complete coverage from Cooperstown at seattlesports.com and the Seattle Sports app.
Ichiro, you are unbelievable!
Hey, are aches, injuries, or everyday pain slowing you down? Well, it is time to move better, feel stronger, and get back to doing what you love. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is now accepting new patients, and no referral is needed. Their expert team offers personalized hands-on care to help you recover faster and stay pain-free longer. Shannon, what is it like to see new patients walk through your doors?
Rock, it's wonderful. You know why? It's because it's an opportunity for us at IRG to make a difference in someone's lives. It's so important that when people come in, they experience engagement, coaching, teaching. We build relationships with our patients, and we want to make it easy. We all know that healthcare has a lot of what I call minutia in it. We have a concierge call center. When you call, we're going to check your authorization, verification, certification, justification. We're going to find out everything we need to know about your insurance, and we're going to make it easy for you because we want you focusing on getting better.
And all you got to do is head over to irgpt.com to find the clinic nearest you. irgpt.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25. New customers only. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Well, the Mariners take to the road. Game 1 of their road trip happening tonight in Anaheim, taking on the Los Angeles Angels. They'll send Logan Evans to the hill, face off against former Mariner Yusei Kikuchi. So hopefully the Mariners can get back into the win column. You can catch it all starting at 5:30 right here with the pregame show. 6:40 first pitch, one final today. Orioles beat the Guardians 4-3. Games going on right now. Very short schedule in baseball. The Blue Jays up 5-1 on the Tigers. That one in the top of the 6th in Detroit. Cardinals trailing the Padres in St. Louis. Padres up 2-0 in the bottom of the first. Still to come, Astros playing host to the Athletics.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, this is Wyman and Bob.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming live on the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton.
Well, as we said, the Mariners get back to it tonight in Los Angeles, in Anaheim, is to be more specific, to take on the Los Angeles Angels. That pregame show coming your way in a little less than a half an hour, but we do this each and every Thursday. We highlight the superstar of this Seattle Mariners team. No, it's not Julio Rodriguez, it's Cal Raleigh, and here is the latest installment of the Cal Raleigh Show.
Pitch to Cal, swinging a drive, way out of here to right field. Cal Raleigh with a home run.
He's the best catcher in baseball, and he's on Seattle Sports Thursday afternoons all season long on Wyman and Bob. It's the Cal Raleigh Show.
Presented by the Puyallup Tribe of Indians.
With Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer.
Cal, is it good to be back in your home ballpark? I just asked you, are things normal for you? And you said no, but I mean, seriously, how different are things for you this year with everything extra?
Just a lot more, I guess different things on the plate rather than, baseball, but it's all good. It's nothing bad. So, just trying to focus on winning baseball games and getting into the postseason. So,
at the All-Star game, it was great to watch everything you did. I was kind of wondering because I would be exhausted at that point, and yet you looked like you were jumping into you were there for everything. What was your approach to how you were going to experience it all?
I was just going to try to, take everything in, try to do everything I could to be a part of every situation that, they have there at the All-Star Week. So, you never know if you're ever gonna get back there or not, So I'd take it all in and experience it, first one, and had a good time. Got to do a lot of things, meet a lot of people, experience the whole thing, which is amazing event, and had a lot of fun doing it.
Take the game and the Derby out. What was the best experience for you?
I think, getting to meet some of the guys was a lot of fun. You compete, for 162 games a year. You're going so hard every single day. You don't get a lot of time to appreciate, some of those times being on the field and getting to share it with the greatest players in the world was really special. And it was nice to just kind of like sit there and be a fan and admire and watch and just kind of hang with the guys.
Who had a personality that maybe surprised you a little bit?
I don't know if there was anyone that surprised me per se. Getting to talk to, just on the bench, I get to talk to everybody who was just there and hanging around, and I guess talking to Crochet a little bit. He was a little more talkative than I thought he'd be. Just because he's, when he's on the mound, he's so serious. So, which a lot of the guys are. So, you don't really know until you get to talk shop with them. What their personalities are like.
How serious were you when you were catching that game?
I mean, I took it just as serious as any other game, really. I mean, I think that's kind of what makes the MLB All-Star Game the best in the world out of any of the leagues, just because, you're getting the real, authentic, 100% effort from every single guy, whereas in other leagues you're not. And, I think that's what kind of makes it special. And it was very fun. Like I said, I was trying to win the game. I wasn't. There was no letting off. There was no. It was a real game. So, trying to do everything I could to win and to perform the best I could and put on a good show for all the fans.
What was it like to have Skubal talking? You were too, but Skubal mic'd up and talking while he's focusing on the game or trying to focus, and you're trying to get his focus. And what was that whole thing like? Yeah, it was kind of tough just because you're hearing people in your ear and you got the peripheral and you're trying to stay locked in as well. So it was a little tough there, but it was cool. I mean, we chatted a little bit, but it was more just about the game, just because we're both focused. So, I'm not a very chatty guy anyway, so I don't know if they were looking for a lot of content or not, but I tried my best. So, what was your most enjoyable interview that you did? I don't know. That's a good question. There's a lot of them. Probably doing one with my dad and brother, getting to share the stage with them. That was pretty cool, getting to get interviewed and have them there to answer questions and not just have me there, which was a fun experience. All the interviews that we saw at the time and as it was happening, you just seemed to be surprised and I think proud, maybe a little delighted to see what you were seeing from T and how he contributed. You said, you were surprised that he started not only hyping you up, but calling, nope, lay off that one. What did you learn about him in that situation? I don't know if I learned anything from him, but, because we are brothers, I know a lot about him. But, he definitely, he's in situations where there's a lot of people around, he tends to be a little more reserved and, like a awkward teenage boy. So, but he was great. He had a lot of fun and he was super hyped up in that moment and had a lot of fun. I didn't see that kind of personality outside of him coming out because I don't usually see it a lot. So to see that was really cool and we had a lot of fun. So it was definitely a moment, I'll never forget. I think he had the line, and it was just one word of the entire home run derby when he asked what he saw from behind the plate. What were you thinking when he said greatness? I was just thinking that's a great excuse to not have to answer the question. So that's what I thought. Way to go! Yeah. So way to go, little brother. I don't think with millions of people watching and having to give a long answer, I don't think he was ready for that. So he got it was one of those accidental oops, it worked out kind of answers, I think. It was a beautiful, beautiful moment. Hey, it was also fun to see your teammates down on the field. I think you had the best support crew, and they were in full uni too, which was I didn't see anybody else doing that. What did it mean to you to have them with whatever advice it was they were giving? Yeah, I mean, it was awesome to have Randy, Mooney, and Woo all there, and they stayed the whole time. Meant a lot to me, and it was nice to have that cool
group that you see every year with a couple of the contestants, home run derby guys. Every year you see their team bring Gatorade and do the whole thing, and that was actually real life. It wasn't just something you talk about or something that you see on TV. So it was really cool. We had a lot of fun. I love those guys, and I would have done the same. I would have done the same for my teammates, so I do appreciate them doing that.
You might have the opportunity some year if you take the home run derby off. You think this was a one and done for you?
Do I think it was a one and done?
Yeah.
No, I think if they asked me to go back, I'd do it. So, it's hard to beat the first one, though.
Right.
It would be hard to top that one for sure.
So what was the nerve level when you went out there? That's not something you've done before. Kind of a different environment, too.
Yeah, I mean, I was very anxious. I was hitting 7th of the 8 contenders, and so I liked not having to go first.
Yeah.
But after a while, I started getting a little antsy. But I was able to hang out with the guys and just kind of kick it, and then go get hot again. So, I think that first time was just a little anxious. Like I said, not really nervous, just like ready to do it, and was able to find a little groove there and squeak out by half an inch. And then after that, I was talking to my dad and everybody else, and I was just like, I'm playing with house money now. I mean, barely snuck in, and was able to find that groove and kept it rolling.
What was it like watching Caminero?
It was obviously he's a really good player, great swing. He's just so consistent. Like every swing he took looked the exact same, and he was barreling balls up like crazy. So, definitely wasn't comfortable with him hitting, and he almost got there. That's for sure.
Let's get into some of the fun things about the All-Star game. The T-Mobile commercial was fantastic. When did you shoot that?
The one with Skeens and
yeah.
I went out. I can't remember when. Weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, on one of the off days, and was able. They made it really easy, and it was super easy for me. They just told me to flip some balls up and hit them, and which is pretty natural for me rather than trying to act. And
you didn't try to act.
Yeah, I'm not that great at that stuff, but I'm good at the cheesy lines. That's what I'm good at.
Cheesy lines.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was good. They did a good job. They're a great partner, and obviously our park sponsor as well.
Yeah. They got your whole family, too. I just saw that on the big board last night. How did they enjoy that experience? That was fantastic.
Yeah, they had a great time. They were, like I said, they've been great to me. They were awesome. They obviously hosted the whole week, it seemed like, with the home run derby. So my mom and, sisters and some family got to go up there to the T-Mobile box and hang out and beat the heat a little bit up there, food and drinks. So they were super awesome to me and my family, and they got a cool moment captured for that commercial. So
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. What was it like then? I mean, I would have thought most people, that's it, I'm done, I'm after it, don't even talk to me for 2 days, and you go to your brother's baseball game. You go from the biggest stage baseball game to your brother's baseball game. What was it like watching that?
It was great. I don't get to watch him very often. I probably watch more of his basketball games than I watch his baseball games, just because off-season, that's what he's doing. He's playing basketball, not baseball. So, anytime I get a chance to go and see him and try to watch, I just want to be a big brother. I don't want to be, I don't want to be a coach. I don't want to be, player. I just want to go watch him, enjoy it, and do what he does when he comes to watch me play. So it was cool. It was fun. They, like I said, don't get to go out and do that very often. So when I get that chance, I try to make it count.
Did you see his friends kind of give him the wide eye after what he had done the day before?
Oh yeah, I mean they had the perfect game tournament. They had the cameras out that day, and obviously my dad coaches or helps coach that team, and so they had the cameras out, all the players, and my brother had on all the All-Star gear they got to keep, and so yeah, they kind of knew what was going on a little bit.
And you're going to make sure he keeps his head about him. The car comment you had when you got back here was fantastic. It's gone.
Yeah, his head's gone. There's no humility going on right now.
Oh, this is what I did on my summer vacation.
Yeah, he's living his best life. So
good for him.
Yeah,
good for him. Hey, speaking of living best life, up in that booth right now, I believe that's Kate Anderson, who's going to be down in the clubhouse, Mariners' #1 pick. What do you remember of the first time you came to this stadium? When was that?
Oh, I remember it was like a midweek game against the Orioles. Our team in Everett came up here, and we got to come on the field for BP and watch, all the guys hit. I remember, seeing Seager, Vogelbach, Ichiro. This was in 2018. I believe D. Gordon as well. I remember watching them all hit BP, and then obviously just taking in the game. My mom and dad were visiting, so they had to come as well. They were watching me play up in Everett, so I was sitting on the third base side above the Lexus sign over there. There's not a lot of people out here. Yeah, and I just remember thinking it'd be pretty cool to play here one day. So
maybe I'll hit a home run here someday.
Yeah, maybe, or something like that.
If you have the opportunity to talk to Anderson, what would you say to, one of the young ones coming in right now?
I'd probably just, make myself available. I'm always here to help. But I think I'd just, tell him, go to work. It's, I think with the draft and everything, it's a special time for him and his family, and they should enjoy it. And it's a great moment and something they'll never forget. But, he has a chance being a college polished arm, to make his way up pretty quickly. So, go to work, and obviously this is what you worked for your whole life, and take advantage of it. So.
Good stuff, Cal. Thank you.
Thank you.
There you go, the latest installment of the Cal Raleigh Show. If you guys tuned in the middle of that and didn't catch all of it, you'll be able to find it all after the show on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Just click the podcast tab, scroll down to our picture, click on that, and everything you missed during the day on the show is waiting for you right there. Don't forget, you can click subscribe, and it's totally free. You click subscribe, it just shows up for you. You don't have to do anything after that. It's a beautiful process. Meanwhile, it was cool to hear him. It sounds like he's more than eager to do the home run derby again.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Wants to defend his title, defend his belt.
Well, why wouldn't he? I mean, he's still a fairly young guy, I guess. But, yeah, it was kind of interesting. I like that he said, they were talking about all the interviews. He goes, yeah, I'm not a chatty guy.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we kind of got that feeling.
Comparatively speaking, though, he is. Compared to who he was when we first were speaking to him when he first came up. He had very few words.
Well, and you know what? It's funny. I like that it's not a problem for him. I mean, he's still a man of few words, but like he's getting through it. And, and I feel like he's embracing it. And, the other thing I thought that was really cool, and that's what, if I were to have ever gone to like a Pro Bowl or whatever, I would have loved talking to, the other guys, and just finding out what they're all about.
Because you're so used to hating them all the time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
This is a chance to be friends.
Right. Yeah. So, that was cool. And then some of his answers were pretty funny. Well, I think I know my brother pretty well. I mean, we are brothers.
Yeah.
But,
we are brothers.
I missed that part. He got a vehicle for winning the home run derby, and his son or brother's driving it.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, his brother's about to turn 16, so Cal's like, maybe I'll give it to him as a present.
Gotcha.
It's pretty cool. He hooks his brother. He's very proud of his brother.
Yeah.
He brings him up, as we said, unsolicited. We didn't ask about him, and he talked about him and at spring training when we were just chatting him up, and he was talking about giving him all this gear and talking about all this gear he's got. And,
you know how cool that would be to be a high schooler. You're 16 years old, and you've got all-star game home run derby swag.
Well, how many people are coming up to him talking about his brother, the big dumper?
Yeah.
You know, how many people are looking at him? Are you built like him? What's your dumper doing there, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got to be a cool thing, and it's just cool to hear Cal just talk about his brother, and he's very proud of him.
Yeah,
you just hear that.
I saw one time we were down there after a game, and I'm not sure about. Does he have a nephew or
not that I'm aware of?
Yeah, or a niece. Anyway, he was going through the locker room with a little kid. So I don't know. He seems like a family guy. So
somebody just strolled in out of the stands.
No, he was like
it was Altuve
taking care.
Do you think he Lefko asks on here? Do you think he finishes the season as the home run leader? He's got a 2 home run lead on Aaron Judge and Shohei. They both have 37 right now.
God, those guys. I'm not saying that it doesn't look easy when Cal does it, because he's got a beautiful swing, especially left side or left-handed side anyway. You know, but those guys, geez, they're just, I don't know. Cal's a huge dude too, but I don't know. I watch those guys hit home runs, and I hate to be negative, but I wouldn't be surprised if one of those two surpasses him.
Well, I don't think it's negative. I think it stands to reason, and it's what we talked about very early in the season when we talked about this, and he was on this pace. Is that, you know, when you get toward the second half of the season, and Cal plays as much as any catcher in baseball. Yesterday was just his 3rd day off this entire season. That his position demands so much more of him physically that invariably that's going to impact your swing. It's going to impact your mechanics, and I could very easily see him slow down and see Judge and or Shohei overtake him, because they're just not being asked to do what he does behind the plate. It doesn't match up. Now Shohei will, you know, he'll pitch every 5th day, and that's a different ask than Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge has the easiest path, I would say, especially based on the stadium he plays in. Yeah. He could certainly capitalize there, but I mean, that's just, you go through the history of catchers, and it's just, you don't typically count on that spot for a lot of production. Their job and focus and priority is the pitching staff, calling the game, their defense, and they get worn down, especially by the end of the season. So typically, if they do have decent numbers, they tend to fade. So we'll see how he does. Maybe Cal will be the outlier, and he'll you know, end the season as the home run champ. But if I had to bet in Vegas, I'd probably bet on Judge based on the park he plays in, based on the demands physically that are placed on him versus Cal.
Yeah, you're just being pragmatic about it, because you're right.
Certainly not rooting for that. I'm rooting for Cal 100%. But
how about this? We get Eugenio Suarez here. Did you see that clip I sent you of JP Morosi?
Oh, yeah.
Cantara.
Heard your commentary, too. Your laugh in the middle of it.
He's very dedicated to that. I love that.
Oh, yeah. He won't stray.
Let's say you get Suarez.
He's on with us tomorrow, so you can ask him to say it again. Live
Suarez.
from Cooperstown.
Yeah, let's just get ask
Sorry.
him about a whole bunch of, you know, guys with the long R there.
Every name he's going to have to roll his R's on.
So you get Eugenio here, and him and Cal are battling it out for the home run record. How about that?
I would be in favor of that.
You would like that?
Yes, you could sign me up for that.
No, can you imagine that? I mean, he's hit 36 home runs. Suarez has.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at 39 right now. Yeah, I think you're right about the position. But that also makes it, like, really special, you know, is that, you know, he's not just standing out there in right field or center field or whatever.
Like that lazy slob Judge.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Judge is a ridiculous player.
He really is.
He really is. But the facts, if you're just looking at this objectively, you're going, what he's being asked to do versus what Cal is being asked to do.
Yeah.
And how it wears on the body, it's not even close. It just isn't. And Cal is, we'll see if they give him more time off in this stretch, or if they can afford to give him time off. I mean, you take that bat out of the lineup, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
So there you go. They got the Angels on the docket tonight. Yusei Kikuchi facing off against his former team. Logan Evans going for the Mariners. That does it for us. I want to thank our guests today, Jason Churchill, Tyrice Knight, Paul Moyer, and, of course, you had the Cal Raleigh Show. If you guys missed any part of that, you can find it on the podcast page at seattlesports.com. Click the podcast tab. Scroll down to our picture. Click on that. It's right there waiting for you. Pre-game show coming your way next. We'll talk to you tomorrow with Wyman and Bob.
he's one of the greatest.
The pitch to Ichiro.
And Sunday,
There it is, number 200, a bullet.
Ichiro takes his rightful place in baseball's Hall of Fame.
Number 258, a major league record for Ichiro. My, oh my, Ichiro!
Mariners insider Shannon Drayer delivers complete coverage from Cooperstown at SeattleSports.com and the Seattle Sports app.
Ichiro, you are unbelievable!
Since time immemorial, the Puyallup tribe of Indians have lived on what is now called Puget Sound. The Puyallup tribe is a sovereign nation of more than 6,000 members and one of the largest employers in Pierce County. Today, the Puyallup tribe continues to serve its members and community with generosity and is committed to building a sustainable way of life for future generations. Learn more at puyalluptribe-nsn.gov. That's puyalluptribe-nsn.gov.
Hey golf fans, Jordan Babineau here. Get ready for an unforgettable weekend at the 2025 Boeing Classic. Come see Masters champions and Hall of Fame golfers battle it out at the club at Snoqualmie Ridge, August 8th through the 10th. Bring the whole family and check out Seahawks Village, packed with fun for all ages. Plus, celebrate 20 years of the Boeing Classic, supporting the Benaroya Research Institute at Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. It's more than just golf. It's an experience you won't want to miss. August 8th through the 10th. Tickets start at just $20 and kids get in free. Visit BlowingClassic.com for more.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed all in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data, except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards, USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit BayAlarm.com today.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
12's Seahawks training camp, powered by Boeing, is underway at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Join us lakeside for a first look at your 2025 Seahawks as they put in work and gear up for a milestone 50th season. Only a few open practice remain, and they're filling up fast. Register now at Seahawks.com/training camp.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. On a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Cool cars, cool people, good times. The Good Guys 37th Griot's Garage Pacific Northwest Nationals, presented by Wicked Fabrications. July 25th to the 27th at the Washington State Fair Event Center. Over 2,500 classics. An earth-shaking Nitro Thunderfest. Tire smoke and burnout competition. And don't miss Good Guys Friday night vintage drags at Pacific Raceways in Kent. All this weekend at the Washington State Fair Event Center in Puyallup. Details at good-guys.com.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for Refractive Lens Exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Bum here, letting you know West Hills Ford, the Big Four store, is celebrating the Ford Summer Sales event with incredible offers, like the 2024 Ford F-150 Super Crew 4-wheel drive, available now through August 1st with $14,982 off MSRP for qualified buyers. West Hills Ford, the Big Four store, just off the Auto Center Way exit, Highway 3, Bremerton, part of the Hazelwood Auto Group.
Hazelwood has it!
This is